What's up, everybody? Welcome to Eddy Live, episode number 15. We've got my good man, Stewart Glen. How you doing, brother?
I'm awesome, buddy. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. We're a little late today, but we're back on it, so
I don't know how you guys in Tianmu can deal with this traffic up here, man. It's mind-numbing.
Tianmu's like it's like a little village where, you know, once you move there, you never
Don't leave.
You never leave.
leave.
Yeah. Hey, we got Mexican restaurant, we got Indian restaurants, we got movie theaters, we got all the stuff I think that we need. So
yeah, a lot of my buddies live up here, and I think, you know, once the rush hour's over, it rides pretty smoothly, but rush hour is brutal.
Rush hour, especially in Tianmu, is rough because I think everybody has a BMW or a Benz or whatever.
There was a Porsche that was like forcing his way in. I went, all right, all yours.
So it's like, so everywhere you go, it's like every single person is driving a car, like a nice car. So it's just, when it gets crazy, it gets crazy. Tianmu is a special place, man. But I'm glad you made it out. I've been trying to get you on this for a while, but you've been busy. And now we got you here, and we got some awesome things to share today, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. But I hope so. Before we do that, I want you to introduce yourself if you can.
Well, before I do that, I want to give a shout out to the great people of Taiwan for what they did last week.
Okay.
Electing Tsai Ing-wen again and standing up in the face of so much pressure, both from this tsunami of false media and everything, and just like Jiao Taiwan, stand up, be true to yourself, and I'm so proud to call myself Shin Taiwan Ren.
Okay, all right, well, right on, brother.
All right,
that sounds good.
And to all of you,
I think it was quite a landslide as well. I mean, I was looking at it in like the first hour, and it was like it was already over almost. You know, when they were counting the votes and stuff.
74% voter turnout.
That's
What do we get in Canada?
That's got to be
55.
I don't even know, man. That's
they say if 60% turn out in America, they get rid of that.
So we got 74 here, right?
74 here. That's amazing.
That's pretty incredible. Yeah,
I love how seriously they take it and how passionate they are.
It's got to be.
We
Is
don't
that a
understand
record
politics.
though? Is that a record though?
I don't think so. You know, I remember 2004.
Okay.
Abien's second term. It was such a close race. It was
was close.
Yeah,
sure,
it was like 0.6% difference, and I'm guessing it was around a 90% voter turnout. Yeah.
Okay. So far from it then. Yeah.
So anyway, hi everybody. My name's Stewart Glen, actor, entrepreneur, and goaltender. Been in Taiwan about 20 years. Oh, wow. My wife and I have started up a little company called Infinity Key, where we are changing the paradigm about how Taiwanese people can build their confidence with English.
I love it. Yeah. And what brought you here originally, man?
Well, you know, as an actor, I was doing really well in the mid-'90s in Vancouver.
Sure.
I was getting tons of auditions for shows like The X-Files and The Outer Limits and all those things. Okay. Getting in the room with Rob Bowman and Chris Carter.
Sure, yeah.
But never quite right. I was a small fish in a big pond.
Understandable.
Theater-wise, because I'm a theater geek, we kind of forced the... In Vancouver, they have their version of the Tony Awards, and they're called the Jessies.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm Canadian. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, you're from way up there.
Way up there.
You're from BC, but you're practically Alaska, aren't you?
We are. We're about 2 hours, 2 to 4 from Alaska.
That far?
We're up there.
Prince Rupert? Is that right?
No, we're actually 2 hours from Rupert. Yeah.
Where are you guys?
Kitimat.
Kitimat,
BC. Shout out to Kitimat, BC.
That's way up there.
The best little town. I love it, man. The snow is pretty crazy. Yeah. It's. I got to bring my daughter back to see that. I got to bring her back. But
how old is she now?
She's 8. Just turned 8, man. Yeah. Time flies, right?
Jesus.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, awesome.
Beautiful.
We in I think it was 96. We produced some friends of mine and I produced a play that was so popular that the Jessie Award Committee had to reinvent itself.
Okay.
Or not reinvent itself, but set up a new level of awards for Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Lighting.
Okay.
Because they couldn't ignore us.
Okay.
And so they said,
like
jump
that.
through these hoops and then you'll qualify for awards.
Love
and
it.
we jumped through the hoops.
Okay.
And we were nominated for 7 awards and we won 4.
Incredible. Oh, shit.
Yeah, so
Okay,
we were really
wow.
putting small theater on the map
I love
there.
that. Okay.
But then by 99, after I finally produced, my dream was to start a theater company in Whistler, BC.
Okay.
That's what I kind of tailor-made my university education for that. And I spent most of the 90s up in Whistler. You know, piggybacking some theater in
Whistler,
Vancouver,
sure,
of course.
sure.
But Whistler was my love and my passion, and I really saw an opportunity for like a Stratford Festival or a Shaw Festival out west.
Okay.
They have so many tourists up there with nothing to do at night. It's just an ideal location, and I busted
that's
my
true.
butt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
makes
busted
sense.
my butt trying to produce theater. And
That makes sense. Yeah.
summer of '99, and this was inspired by the happenings in Columbine. I did Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
But it was about the violence that was passed down to the generations and stuff
Sure,
like that.
sure,
Anyway,
sure.
without getting too geeky, it was
Okay.
really successful, and but it also. I realized that this is never going to happen. The type of theater that I wanted to do in Whistler was never going to happen. So I tried to find a legitimate job, and I kind of got depressed, and I couldn't. The best I was doing was I was answering phones at the CBC in Calgary.
Okay.
And it just got too much.
Speaking of cold, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's colder than where we're from.
Yeah,
man. Shoot.
yeah. And so I got a job in Shinju. And they offered to pay for my plane ticket up front and deduct it off of my first couple of paychecks. And
I like that.
And that was in August of 2000 that I landed here. And that's how I got here.
That's beautiful. I like that, man. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And you're happy? You're still here, so you're loving it?
Yeah.
Good place.
Yeah, I do. I mean, who knows if 12 years ago, if I hadn't met my wife, where I'd be. But she's the number one.
She's the anchor.
Hey, Anna.
She's the anchor.
Oh,
Your anchor.
for sure. Yeah,
Beautiful.
I never expected that to happen in my life. And,
All right. Well, that's a beautiful story, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, let's start. Let's get on the wings. It's pretty chill for round one.
Are we allowed to
this is
swear?
The first
Are we
one?
allowed-
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. Yeah. First one is buffalo. So these are the same. So you pick one. I'll eat the other one, man.
All right. Well, we'll go for it.
Drumstick. If you're hungry, man, get on it.
I don't
This
know.
is buffalo, man.
So this
basic
buffalo
stuff.
should be all right, yeah?
Buffalo's basic stuff, man. Enjoy. Get on there.
Cheers.
Salute. Cheers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No problem, right?
I really like the way you've got this, like, saturated in the sauce, you know? It's not, like,
It should be
baked
that way,
on. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, no, we
Not
we have pretty
spicy at
solid,
all.
we have pretty solid wings here, and so I mean the whole idea was on Wednesday wings are half price. Let's get things going on a Wednesday. The wing show's on a Wednesday. We got some pretty good interviews. We got some pretty good people coming in. We can say we have actors coming in, which is great. Which is great. We have entrepreneurs, soccer coaches. We have professional MMA fighters. We just mixing it all up, and everyone's got a cool story. So excited to hear about yours. Yeah, because I've known you for a while, but I didn't know what you just told me. That's pretty amazing, man. I love that.
Yeah, we've never really gotten down into we know a little bit about each other.
That's what we're here for, right?
I've always looked up to you as one of the successful entrepreneurs.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate that.
I know you
That's a
work your
tough one.
ass off. Are we allowed to drop bombs?
Sure. Of course we can. Yeah.
You work your ass off for this, and it's probably the most difficult business to get into.
It's pretty rough. I'll be honest. It's not so easy for sure.
Yeah. I
But
dabbled
we're
in
working
it.
on it, yeah?
I dabbled in it.
Okay.
I managed another Mexican place downtown.
Oh, that's right.
The
Yes.
Mayan.
The
I
Mayan.
think.
Yeah, sure. I heard good things about it. Never got a
Yeah, the
chance to
food
try
was
it, though.
all right, but
Yeah.
kind of an absentee owner.
Okay.
And
That's a tough one because you that's tough to do here.
yeah.
I mean anywhere. You have to be there. You have to make sure that people are doing their job. I mean, if you don't, people start to slack, and then what happens? You start to get a 3-star review, and then a 2-star review, and then a 1-star review, and people stop coming, and then you're like, "What happened?
Yeah.
What happened to Saturday night?"
Well, like he had that original Mayan was over here on Zhongshan Beilu.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. And that was a beautiful venue.
Oh, no, for sure.
But then he closed that down and he opened the one on Chigny. And then he brought me in to reopen Maya Norte, and it was going to be a live house. I was looking at talking because I have a lot of connections in the music industry here.
Well, yeah, okay.
And but then he just ran afoul of his landlord, and that never happened. And I kind of got stuck on Chigny, and that's not what I came there to do. So.
Well, we actually do live music here as well.
Yes,
I mean, so let me know, man. I'm all about promoting the arts.
Well, what are you doing, like
man.
kind of unplugged, or because I know a lot of the places that have music, the neighbors upstairs are shutting you down by 10. And
well, we can go late-ish. I mean, we've got for example, our stereo, our PA system was set up by a friend of mine, Robert. Shout out to Robert.
Kobe.
Yeah.
Well,
Robert,
his band is what I was just going to say.
Robert,
have you had his band here?
Robert's the man. He's played here many times, actually. And he's set up
within
the
flesh?
stereo.
The tribute to Pink Floyd?
He invites me to that, but I get stuck in TM. I can't get out.
It's the best time I've had. I used back in the days of Citizen Kane. I was always there at the jam, and I love the music scene here. And I saw them at Oldie Goodie, and it was the best time I've had at a nightclub in Taiwan in 20 years.
Okay,
beautiful. I went Facebook Live with it, which was a tragedy because I know
you can't have the sound quality, right? It's
hard, especially seeing as I know every lyric to every Pink Floyd song, and I'm singing it, and I can't carry a tune in a bucket, so I'm drowning them out. Sorry, there in the flesh.
That's
but
right. Okay.
I got them to start playing at the Irish pub in.
Was the Shannons? Not
that No. They're not that old. It's named after the poet. My buddy's gonna kill me. I can't remember. I'll come up with the name of it.
It's coming. All right.
Yeah. Live music is.
So let's get some more. I mean, I love it. We try to promote all that
have in
stuff,
the flesh here, but that's hard rock. That's Pink Floyd.
How many piece band is that?
I think there's a drummer, a bass player, and a guitarist, and they used to have this really cool woman singer who did all the.
Yeah, I know who that is. That's Colleen, I think, right?
She wore a pink wig. She left though.
Yeah, she left. Mom, Australian.
Yeah,
for sure.
She's
a great singer.
Yeah, she had a really good voice.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Yeah. So. When we were chatting earlier, Shakespearean trained actor. I mean, how does one become a Shakespearean? I'm so curious about that. That was the first thing. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. Very cool.
Well, at the University of Calgary, in the drama department, it's a 4-year program.
Okay.
And they divide it into 16 genres, and you study 4 per year.
Okay.
Right, and that's your dramatic criticism, dramatic literature kind of course of study. Shakespeare being just one of the 16.
Okay. And you get to choose what you want?
No. They say this year we're doing these 4, and then their main stage season that they sell to the general public, and the students put on these plays with full budgets and stuff.
Okay.
Shakespeare was just one of them. But then what you do choose is whether you want to go the tech route, the directing route, or the acting route.
Okay.
And I went the acting route, and I was fortunate enough to have, in my 3rd and 4th year, Pamela Brooke, who was a Broadway actor and loved Shakespeare, and she imbued in that love for it with us.
Nice.
In us.
That's very cool.
And it's always been... I mean, it's never going to happen, but my kind of dream back then was to do the canon of Shakespeare, to direct it.
Do you have a favorite Shakespeare play? I mean, there's obviously so many good ones, right?
Well, yeah, I got to go with the Scottish play for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so much potential you can do with it.
Okay.
I think it'd be interesting to explore doing that one as a comedy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie called Men of Respect?
I have not. No.
It's
I have not.
They did it as Italian. Not the Shakespearean verse.
Okay.
It's just modern language, but it's definitely the Scottish play. Sorry, I'm geeking out here. We're not in a theater.
No, that's
Macbeth. We call it the Scottish play.
Very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah, but to do something like that in Taiwan would be impossible. Impossible. Any kind of Shakespeare in Taiwan.
Oh yeah.
It
not
takes
enough interest.
Not enough people.
Okay.
It's a massive cast, right?
Yeah.
We did a play with 6 people just over here at Brooke Hall's place a few years back.
Okay.
And it was a slog. You know, it was
Really?
like 12 weeks of rehearsal.
Okay. Oh wow.
And then we just play for 9 nights, and it's up kind of in the Beto area there,
Okay.
Chilean.
I think I remember. Did
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
come back here?
Yeah, we
You
came here for our cast
afterwards,
party. That was the
right?
night I got
I
engaged.
remember that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, Andrew
brought,
Chow was here,
yeah,
who I
that's
just
right.
did Kwelewa.
Was he involved in that? Yeah.
Big time involved
He's
in
the
that.
man,
Yeah, he's
eh?
playing Pickering.
You know what? He actually also he came by and he was outside having some beers and stuff, and he was saying he just wrapped up something, but I mean I didn't want to, ask too many questions, but I was kind of like, I wonder if it's the same thing.
He has a lead role. Him
Okay.
and Fabio Granjon, they play Pickering and Legender, who are the two guys that. So what we're talking about, I guess
Sure.
we're kind of.
So that's the next question.
Yeah,
Let's keep going. Yeah, sure.
I guess it was last June. A casting director that I hadn't heard from in 10 years called me up and said this director of a new movie in Taiwan wanted to meet me. And so they set up an appointment. I went in, sat with the guy for an hour. We just shot the shit. He told me about his plans for this. And it wasn't a movie. It was a TV show. Then he offered me the role of Dr. Patrick Manson, Sir Dr. Patrick Manson.
Okay.
An actual historical figure that was very involved in Taiwan's history.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
true story based on.
This is a true story. So what it is in 1867, a ship called the Rover shipwrecked off the coast of Kending.
Wow.
And the survivors rowed ashore and they were captured and eventually killed by the Aboriginal tribes there. Because they had a long memory. They were abused by the Dutch 200 years earlier, and so any blue-eyed devils...
They saw that and they're just like, hell no,
and they
doing
just
that again. Yeah.
And so Legender, who is a Civil War veteran, was told to go and find these sailors.
Okay.
And so we spend the first part of the series traveling through southern Taiwan looking for these sailors, whom we eventually find out they're dead and beheaded. And, then they try and stave off a full-on attack by the American military for retribution.
Sure.
And so the ultimate, the native tribes were forced to sign a treaty allowing ships to or foreigners to land on Taiwan without the fear of and this kind of if I get it right, it paved the way for the Japanese to actually get a foothold in here, which they eventually took over the island. Because of this incident, the independence movement in Taiwan points to this incident as kind of an example of how China never really had a part of Taiwan, that they actually threw their hands, the Qing dynasty threw their hands up and said, it's too wild, we can't control it, it's not ours.
Damn, okay.
So so very this is going to be a very controversial show. It's called Kwelewa, or Lady the Butterfly. And it's going to be intense. It's a beast. It's about the heroes of the show are the natives, the Aboriginal people, the Paiwan people. Butterfly is a fictional character, but her brother Wenjie was a real person, and all the foreigners, the Western actors in it are based on real people. Of course, the chiefs are real people. So it's what it is. That's a amazing. Limited series historical docudrama. That's what it is.
Amazing.
The Aboriginal actors that worked on this show were amazing. It was such an honor to work with them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Let's grab a wing, and now I want to keep talking about.
Okay, so this next one is the Korean one, right?
This one is not Korean. That's Chipotle.
I love Chipotle.
Yeah,
it's my favorite. Yeah, I'm gonna stay with this.
Go for it, man.
Yeah,
you do whatever you want to do. Yeah, you're the guy. You're the man today. So.
Oh yeah, smokiness. I love the Chipotle Tabasco sauce. I slam that onto my guotie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a little fusion going on there, and that guotie and Chipotle Tabasco.
You know what?
You'll thank me later.
I have never actually put Chipotle on guotie. That's pretty amazing.
It's really good.
That's good. Yeah.
I like the corn guotie. It's fantastic.
There's a lot of guotie that I love here for sure.
Oh, this is really nice.
Pretty good, right? Yeah. So
I was so worried.
First round, take it. It's just an easy. Take it easy, right? First round. Next round's a little bit tougher, but this one's no problem. Yeah. So how do they go around to recruit, let's say, original actors or? So this will be a TV series.
It'll be a TV series, 10 episodes.
Okay.
And one of my best friends in Taiwan, one of his private students, is the woman that works for the Taiwan Public Broadcasting.
Okay.
I think they call it PBS here too. I'm not sure. And her job is to sell the shows that they produce to HBO and Netflix and stuff like that.
So you make it, and then you're like, you got this package, and then
you sell it. And she,
because
Josh knows me, and so that became a subject of their conversation. And she said, it is definitely going to be bought by Netflix.
That's wow.
I know. I'm going to be on a Netflix show. Yeah. It drops in December.
That's okay.
But I mean, editing on this is going to be a bitch.
Oh, yeah, sure.
The filming of it, I call it Taiwan's Apocalypse Now, because we were trudging through jungles and
where did you guys film?
In Kending.
Oh, okay.
For most of it, and then they built a Taiwan Fu village. This thing's amazing. They built it from the ground up. Taiwan Fu was Tainan.
Okay.
And so an 1867 version of Tainan, they built from the ground up, and it is
crap. And after that's done, what happens to it? Does it become like a tourist attraction?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
They got the city of Tainan to pay for, I think, 66% of the construction of it.
Okay.
And it will be rented out for future movie sets.
Okay.
And
that's pretty.
I don't know if they're going to make it a tourist attraction, because we had to wear mud boots to walk into the set. Okay.
And that's pretty cool, man.
If it rains, it just becomes a swamp in there.
Okay.
I had these lines that, we started doing table reads in August.
Sure, okay. Wow.
And I had 3 lines in Taiwanese.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
I had 3 lines in Taiwanese. And
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están? ¿Bien?
And I struggled over them. Because getting the tones right, I want to... Are we okay?
Morgan, can you take care of these guys? Yeah? Take care. Thanks. Sorry, I'm good. I just want to make sure these guys get a seat. Sorry, we are live here at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And once in a while, when someone comes in, you're like, hey, we need a seat. Yeah. Okay. No, that sounds pretty amazing, man. I like that. I'm excited to see it. I'm glad that you were part of that, man, because I know you've been part of that scene for such a long time.
Well, doing a lot of TV commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
I did the play with Brooke last year at Christmas time. I produced White Rabbit, Red Rabbit at the Red Room, which...
Yes. Tell me, I always get invited, and I know a lot of people that are affiliated with the Red Room. I'm like, yes, I'm coming. I'm coming. And now, is it something going on? Is it closing?
Red Room is actually,
or what's going on?
They've been asked to leave the Air Force Base that they've been there for, 10 years or so?
Yeah.
So they've got a new venue, basement of a restaurant. It's moved. I think they had a couple of weeks ago, they were selling everything. They had a big fire sale. And,
I saw that. Yeah.
I mean, Roma and Toby, two popular Tien Muites.
Sure, for sure.
Toby Openshaw.
Meta.
They work so hard. They're such passionate artists and so giving to the community. And of course, Roma's son, too. He's really the backbone of it.
Well,
and
these are stories that we want to share, right? Because sometimes people, they don't know that you're doing so much behind the scenes. And the whole point of this podcast is for that, basically. There's a lot of people doing cool stuff. So I'd like, if I can, have the ability to share that with a few people, then that's
watch for the Red Room to Phoenix out of the ashes. They're not done by a long shot. And if anybody knows of a performance venue, you should contact Toby Openshaw or Roma Meta, because they could really use a new space.
Sounds good. We'll have to keep our eyes and ears open for that.
How's your iced coffee here?
That's pretty good. You want one? Can we order an iced coffee? Thank
latte,
you.
Please.
Yeah, sure. So let's get on the. That's pretty good. I mean, we're gonna focus a little bit more. Iced latte, and we're gonna focus a little more on some coffee stuff, and we got some big plans for over here. So things are.
Where do you buy your coffee from?
Oh my gosh, we have a couple of different importers that we talk to. A couple of friends of mine get there's a really good friend of mine who gets his beans from Panama. His family has like a farm over there. So we actually try sort of different ones. And I'm not a huge coffee guy, so I don't know that much about it, to be honest. But
That's all I am.
But
so
when you have a
and
coffee
water,
and it's good, you're like, yes.
We discovered a place called OK Lao. It's a chain of farmers in Taiwan here.
Oh, that sounds cool.
And way that I don't understand or know the process of the coffee business, but we're really happy. So OK.
All I know is tastes good.
Lao.
Okay,
check them out. Buy a couple of pounds of it or kilos of it, and try it out because it's cheaper and it's really rich and I love it.
I'll have to do it. Man. Yeah. All right, brother, let's get on the next one, yeah?
Okay, what's the next one?
So this one is a sort of like a toasted chili sauce. It's made with the Gongbao Jiding chilies. You know Gongbao Jidi, the Gongbao chilies?
Yeah.
It's like a dried cayenne.
Yeah.
So it's made with that. It's kind of one of our fusion sauces. Actually, this is the sauce that we use when we make tamales. Yeah, just dump them. Yeah. So that's, that's the one, man. So we use that with our tamales. So it's
you go ahead and pick. You can have the drum if you want.
I'm fine with whatever, man. I'm good right here. Get on it. That's all good. Yeah. So when Lady the Butterfly airs, is there going to be like are you guys having like a premiere party or something? Is there anything like that going to happen? I have no idea how that.
Yeah,
I just know what I see on.
Movies, like 30 years in the business, this is my first television show. So, you know as much as I do. I imagine they will. We had a wrap party, and it was a really emotional experience.
Sure, of course.
I made some really good friends on this set. A shout out to my two buddies, Eva, and these wings.
Is that spicy? Yeah, we're getting there, right? Not bad. It's kind of like getting up there. So I love Gongbao Jiding. So it's kind of
Eva and Alex, a couple of interns that. Because their English was better than most, they were usually assigned to me to help me if translation needed to be done or something like that.
Okay.
And we struck up a pretty strong friendship, and and I mean they worked their ass off. That crew was amazing. One dude got stomped by a water buffalo, man. Yeah. I mean the footwear that the actors that were playing the Aboriginals had to wear was very, and they're
they have to be a character,
and they're on lava rocks and cutting up their feet. There was a lot of injuries on this thing. Cast and crew. I blew out my knee on it too. So
people that watch movies and stuff like that, like I mean, I don't know anything about acting or anything like that, but we have no idea all the pain that everyone has to go through and the hell that. I would have never even thought of that, unless you brought that up. That's pretty.
Well, I mean, we were deep in the jungle for sets. They for some of the locations.
Okay.
And there's war scenes, there's big battle scenes, and people get hurt. And that's the thing, though. Taiwan's industry is growing.
Okay.
But there's no oversight here. There's no unions, right?
Okay, understand.
Yeah. If we were shooting this in North America, first of all, I would have made 10 times the money I made.
Of course, yeah.
But you'd have IATSE, which is the union that oversees the crews.
Okay.
And I posted something on Facebook and on Formosa a little while ago.
In the description, the description of these videos, we actually have all your links and stuff down there.
Okay,
if anybody's interested, the links are there,
I was on a set for some commercial.
Okay.
And there was a big celebrity, the guy that played the boyfriend in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, okay.
And he was doing wire work, and
that
it was,
dude, all right. That's cool. That's very cool.
But they had a stuntman.
I love that show.
Who was doing a jump.
Hi guys, thank you.
From the second floor down into the foyer.
Okay.
Landing on these really old, ratty gymnastics mats. Okay. And as a professional, you're not supposed to bring your phone onto the set.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
But I was watching them rehearse this, and I was going, this isn't going to go well. And so I did actually bring my phone and videoed it. And sure enough, when they rolled the cameras, he went higher, and he does his spin, comes down, and breaks his ankle. Right? I showed it to my buddy in
actual
Calgary.
guy, no stunt double.
No, it wasn't. No, it was a stunt guy. It wasn't the celebrity. No, they wouldn't.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, there was 2 people killed on.
Oh shoot!
On the set for that Scorsese, his movie that he did here. So 2 people died on that set.
Okay.
So there's no oversight. It's not safe, and I'm trying to push right now for people.
Yeah, that's pretty important. Yeah,
to tell their stories. Anybody that's been involved with a shoot and has seen something happen that gives you pause.
Jeez,
there is a thread on Formosa where you can write in and put your story down there, and we're trying to get the attention of North American IATSE people to. If Taiwan wants to attract Hollywood money and Hollywood directors, then they're going to have to follow the letter of the union law or something.
Sure,
there's got to be safety.
Or some happy medium.
Right now, where they can, money rules, and these producers take over sets and they put everybody at risk, and everybody's afraid to say anything.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
It's pretty dangerous.
Yeah,
pretty dangerous.
When I had my restaurant in Danshui way back then, this is my Kending acting story. Yeah. It's a short one. So this couple, this lady and this guy, they came up all the way out to Danshui to see me in the Mexican restaurant, and they were just like, "Hey, we want to talk to the owner." I'm like, "Okay, hey, that's me. What's up?" And they're just like, "Yeah, we're gonna film. What was that?" That huge movie about the kid on the boat, Life of Pi, right? So we're gonna film, we're gonna do some filming in Taiwan, and there's a scene sort of at the end of the movie where, I guess the boat hits, the land, and that's filmed in Kending, and so they were just like, yeah, it's supposed to be Mexico. We need Mexicans. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry, yeah, I know, a few Mexicans. I know lots of Latinos, and they're like, okay, cool. So I'm like, introducing them to all these like Latinos and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I'm available as well, And they're like, well, you don't look Mexican at all, so we're not using you.
You don't look Mexican. I would totally cast you as Pablo Escobar.
So they're just like, well, you don't. They're like, oh no, we need people that look Mexican. So I was just like, okay, yeah. So I didn't get it, yeah. But all the people that I introduced did get it. So
yeah,
it's
that's
funny
the thing here, man. There's very limited imagination in this business.
It's funny.
If they tell you to wear a blue shirt to a casting and you show up with a white shirt, you're not getting the job.
You're not getting it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of my first commercials for Subway, they were riffing on Hunt for Red October.
Okay.
And the actor playing the captain of the sub had to speak Russian.
Okay. Yeah,
and I got the part because I looked more.
I
beat Stas. Actually, Stas was my coach for my Russian.
Really?
Okay. And he.
Thank you.
All the hockey boys were like, "Did he really do it, Stas?" And Stas gave me the thumbs up. He said I nailed the Megotova Pokrazhenyu. I think I still remember it.
All right, perfect.
But I beat out the Russians for it because I looked more like Sean Connery.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
With the beard. My beard gets me more work than my actual talent.
Hey, well, shoot. I should grow a beard, man. Jeez.
Yeah.
If
you want to get that authentic Mexican, you got to do that.
That's all I get, man. Yeah. If I grow mine out, I get this. I get nothing here. I get this, and I get this. That's what I get, man. It's like the dirty Sanchez, right? But it's not on purpose. It's not on purpose.
Oh, look at this beauty.
It's not on purpose. That's how my facial hair grows.
Oh yeah.
So you mentioned. I want to eat that last one before we get on the Formosa.
Well, what's that one?
That one is made with local fresh cayenne peppers. Mm-hmm. So usually we use a little bit more hard to find peppers to make our hot sauces. But we went to the market one time and I'm like, you know what? I always see those really long fresh red peppers, and I'm like, let's use these. And they're like, well, they're not super spicy. I'm like, well, I'm gonna buy a bunch of them and then make a sauce out of them and. Mm-hmm. That's the sauce that came out of it. It's pretty solid, I think. Yeah. Okay. So get on there, brother. It's on you, dude. It's on you.
I'm so afraid to get sauce on my beautiful most favorite jersey. I didn't think this through.
Oh, yeah? You didn't think it was going to be sloppy, yeah? Enjoy. Lily, can you okay round 2? Thank you.
That's interesting. Oh yeah, there's a bit of sweetness in there. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of, you invented this based on locally sourced. Mm-hmm. Very nice, Eddie.
Thank you. It's actually one of my favorites, that one.
Stas coming in here a lot?
He actually lives like a block from here, but
yeah, I haven't been to his new place yet.
I mean, I see him walking around, and we chat and stuff, but I haven't seen him for a little bit.
Yeah,
he's busy, man. He's got a lot,
4 kids.
Yeah, 4 kids. He's a busy man.
Yeah,
but I've known Stas for a long time.
Yeah.
Through Andy and Andy Lovelace, who he's out back in Seattle and stuff now. But yeah, good guy though. Good people for sure. Good family.
Dude cracks me up, man. So funny.
That guy's hilarious, man. I love just sitting with that guy, man. It's you're gonna be laughing all night, man. I love it. I love hanging out with Stas for sure. Mm-hmm. So you just mentioned Formosa. I mean, obviously, a lot of expats have been here for a long time, including myself. We know about Formosa. It's been around for how long?
20 years.
20. That makes sense.
I think we're in our 21st year now.
So I wanted to also send a special shout out to Formosa because when we were new, way back when in Danshui, we put up a thread up on Formosa, and we got so much business from that. Yeah. All the expats coming out.
Yeah.
So if you have an expat sort of business, any kind of business, go to formosa.com. There's a link in the description. Post something on there.
Actually, my online name, one of the things about Formosa is that I'm really particularly proud of is you have anonymity.
Yeah.
If you want it.
Yeah.
So you're an entrepreneur and you have...
Yeah, I have to use my
You have an ID,
sure.
But everybody knows it's you.
Yeah.
But you could contact me and say, you know what? I want to talk about... you like soccer, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
The football. So maybe you want to talk about that and slam some rival team or something. Oh,
Morgan.
Yeah. You have to take care of people at the front door here. He's got his manager hat on again.
Yeah, no, it's just... That's a long story, but
I know you don't like talking politics, but that sort of thing, you can have an alternate ID.
Sure,
okay?
Of course.
So what you have now is what we call a QUID, a corporate user ID.
Sure. Okay.
And you can say, Stu, I want to chat, but I don't want that to fall back on my business. I want to be able to free myself up.
I think that's a good thing because I know a couple of guys that great guys. Like I'm not going to mention names because I am not trying to stir the pot, but great guys that have posted on certain things and just maybe not thinking so much. They were kind of just like, blah blah blah, and they posted something anti this or whatever. Oh my god!
Yeah. No,
they just got smashed.
Well, and
their business. People were just like, never going there again.
Yeah.
And you're like, ugh. Well, he's actually a good guy. He just kind of,
We point to Freebies Pizza in Taoyuan as the textbook case of how to ruin your business through Formosa.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Phoebe's, yeah. He moved back to Canada. I know Phoebe's,
Yeah. He just engaged and wouldn't accept the criticism. And people were trying to help him, but... and that's the anonymity. Mm-hmm. People will say things over their keyboard that they wouldn't say to you. They wouldn't say in the bar.
That. Sure.
Like on Facebook, you can't, unless you're pulling a Jim Edstein and hiding behind a bunch of sock puppets.
Sure. Yeah.
You are who you are on Facebook.
Yeah.
But Formosa, there was a split a few years back where Anthony and Gus, the two owners,
sure.
They had different visions for what it was to
What's
be.
the story behind that? I mean, I know them both. And it's,
and they're both good guys.
Both good guys for sure.
So they just amicably parted ways, but of course everybody wanted to make much more of it than it was because if it bleeds, it leads, right?
Sure.
And Anthony started up Taiwanese and brought, his circle of friends with him. And,
sure.
And they, got all puffy and tried to compete with Formosa, and it got really ugly there for a while. And,
okay.
I remember one time saying, we're playing World Cup rugby and they're playing silly buggers, and Anthony took great offense to this, but he didn't know that silly buggers was a term for touch rugby.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. And he got offended.
He got really offended.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And I had to explain.
I didn't know that either, but I wouldn't.
Yeah. Silly buggers. Yeah.
Okay.
It's touch rugby. Yeah.
Okay.
It's what you'll play inter-squad and stuff like that.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm not sure what Anthony's plans are with Taiwanese anymore, but it's kind of fallen by the wayside.
Understand.
Subreddits, they kind of gave us a little competition for a while, and of course Facebook was a juggernaut that we had to deal with too.
Facebook is a whole different beast for sure. Yeah.
But we've come through all of that, And our numbers, our analytics are showing that we're actually peaking at the highest levels of traffic in our history.
I love it.
20 years later.
I love that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So what you were trying to do a shout out to the entrepreneurs, the foreign entrepreneurs.
Yes.
I'm the guy that you want to talk to. I'm the de facto director of business development. Yeah. But I mean,
okay. This is the man right here. You want to do some work with Formosa? You talk to this guy.
Yeah, you just look me up, ToSave. I'm one of the moderators. You can find me, click on me, send me a private message, and we can discuss, and I will help guide you how to promote your business, give you a corporate user ID, and then okay you for an anonymous ID if you want to play around in the politics forums, which I don't even bother going there. It's ugly. I pretty much stay in the events and the what do I moderate? I moderate the dating and relationships.
Okay. Yeah.
The sports.
Okay. Nice. The fun stuff.
I might have some other things that
Sure.
Yeah. But with the traffic, and if you want to let the foreign community know about your business, we are the biggest window, the biggest voice for the foreign community. But I'm looking around and I'm seeing a lot of foreigners here.
Sure. Okay.
I think this is an anomaly, though. Like, what percentage of your business is? What's the split?
To be honest, we in this area, what makes this area rock is the American school, the Japanese school, the European school. So those three schools are a pretty big part of our business, especially the American school, because Mexican food is popular in the States. So we have a pretty big percentage of Americans, of expats.
Back, I remember talking to Andrew Lundman.
Yeah.
You remember Andrew? Coda, Bongos, and
was used to head out there.
What was the
time.
burger place?
Last Burger.
No, that was the first one. Then he had Forkers.
Forkers, that's right.
Forkers. And I would say you should advertise on Formosa. He says, if 10% of my business is foreigners, then that's good. So, and he was more centrally located down in the Gongguan area and stuff like that. So
no, but to be honest, you cannot just do it. Yeah, you got to do it with everybody. You got to try to have, like, for example, some of our podcasts, 3 or 4 episodes are in Chinese, right? Like, and I'm doing it in Chinese. It takes a little bit more prep for me. Like I can speak it and stuff, but what I do is I'll write out all my questions and then I'll have them translated and then I'll put the pinyin under them and then I'll dumb the pinyin down to where I can
fourth tone,
where I can just be smooth. You guys take care of the table, yeah? Thank you. Sorry. Well, Jesus, Jesus. Sometimes you're like, that's the way
I don't want. I know from my experience and all my friends' experience that like Lundman, he's a hockey guy. Whalen, I know a lot of guys that are Pete Dearman down at the Green Hornet.
Sure.
Staffing is the most difficult thing.
It's very difficult, actually. It's a very difficult part of the business, and I think we come from an area where service is king, right? You got to be like, people come in, and that's what I try to do. But it's a tough thing to duplicate. It's a tough thing to teach. It's doable because, if you look at like Din Tai Fung, service is great, but you don't really see.
Why is it? What does Din Tai Fung? How do they treat their staff different than they must have
something?
So
they must have some kind of better training.
30 NT more an hour?
I don't know what it is. So my goal for 2020 is I'm going to crack that. Yeah. And because I want to do some expanding, I want to do some stuff, but I'm stepping back a little bit, and I want to really fix that problem.
Well, one of my kind of sub-intentions of this interview was to throw it back to you and say, okay, yes, Eddy's one is closed.
Sure.
But you alluded in the announcement that something big was, and I was wondering if you were ready to drop the next bomb. What's next for Eddy's?
Well, basically what I'm doing, so we did close Eddy's one recently, and again, the same reason. We're having
staffing.
We're having a hard time staffing, particularly the kitchen. And
did they hang up the pots?
It's
a term that they use. Hang up the pots.
Yeah, I guess. It's just the kitchen. It takes a really unique personality to be in a kitchen. Yeah. Because it's hot, right? Pressure's high. Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's full. You're not taking your break. It's like it's kitchen. Let's go. So it's a unique sort of personality. But so we did. We're going to scale back. We're going to close that one. We're going to do this one 7 days a week. And I've actually hired a restaurant consultant in the States. So he's put together a course, and we are going to build a system. I hope to have it done by the summer. A system with the SOPs, with everything that's like, this is your restaurant in a box. It's like, here, I got my restaurant. Like right now, if I open a restaurant, I'm there. I'm training everybody one-on-one, which is okay. But when that person quits, what happens? Oh, I go back. And I'm doing everything again until I train somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay, and then in 3 months,
it's a big investment.
This person quits. Okay, and then what happens? Then I'm back in there again. Like this weekend was our last weekend at the other restaurant. And who was in the kitchen? Me and my wife. After 12 years, it's me and my wife in the kitchen.
You know,
there has to be a way.
When I was working up here in Timu and coming over for lunch all the time, I was so happy to see you in the kitchen because the food was much better coming when you cooked it for me than when anybody else did. You know?
Of course it is. Yeah. Again, though, like you have to. When I cook it, I'm making and I'm tasting, I'm checking.
Yeah, taste everything.
But you have to. If you're delegating, you have to have. It's tough, but you have to measure. You have to make sure everything is measured. Yeah. And make sure everything is just. I mean, it's doable.
You have to care.
You have to care. This is not something that's teachable. Yeah. Any job in the world.
In
like
Canada,
let's say if I'm an actor and I suck, I don't care, then I'm gonna suck and I'm not gonna get work, right? Any profession, if you don't care, the bummer is when people don't care, but you need them because you're just understaffed, and then you're just kind of like, you got this person who kind of sucks a little bit, but you're like, it's like rock in a hard place. It's kind of like, I got to take care of this. I got to make sure this person is okay. Mm-hmm. And they know you need them. So then they kind of like step back even more. Mm-hmm. It's a slippery slope, man, for sure. Food is rough. Food's rough.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah. And how many years since you opened in Danshui?
12 or 13,
12
man.
or 13.
It's been a long time, yeah.
I mean, that's an impressive
track record. It's impressive.
So many have come and gone.
Yeah. There's always the next big thing for Mexican food. Oh, my God, this guy. Yeah. Oh, my God, he's opened to like a block away from you. And you know what? People are like, oh, do you like hate them? I'm like, no, come on, try it out. Try it out.
Competition is good for business.
Just bring it out.
Yeah.
If people are trying Mexican, then that means that people like it.
Yeah.
They're trying Mexican. They want to eat it, right?
So, coming back around now, So you're saying you're going to develop some standard operating procedures, restaurant in a box. So franchising, is that where you're going?
That's kind of the plan, yeah. I mean, it's a tough business, but I love it. I still love it. So the reason, so when I was in college, I probably told this story before. When I was in college, I had this college girlfriend. And obviously when you're in college, you got no money. Right? I still don't have any now. No, but
preaching to the choir. I'm an actor.
There you go, right? So you're in college, you got no money, but it was my first serious girlfriend that I just was absolutely worshipped. It was her birthday. She loved Italian food. So I was working at a future shop in the warehouse, and I'm talking to the guys. And no, this was in Nanaimo, Vancouver Island.
Love Nanaimo.
Nanaimo's a beautiful place. My sister just moved there actually. Yeah. And I can't wait to go visit it. I haven't been there since I left. Yeah. And so I'm there. They're recommending this place called Maffeo's, Italian place. I'm like, okay, we'll go check it out. It's pretty pricey from what I remember, but I was in college, so don't hold that against me. Yeah. We go in there. We just dressed in basketball shorts and tank tops. He was an athlete as well. Yeah. So we go in. There's 6 tables. We go in. We have a reservation. We go. We sit at our table. Everybody else had a suit. Everybody was done right up. Mm-hmm. And I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't know we had to dress up. So whatever, we're eating. Food's amazing. Food was amazing. And this dude comes out of the kitchen, the owner slash head chef slash cook. Mm-hmm. He comes out, the main guy. He comes out and literally like the Chef Boyardee hat. Literally, he looked incredible. I was like, oh, this is the man. Yeah. He comes out and he sits down at every single table, and he's like, oh, what do you think of this? Well, the reason is because we do this, and he's explaining how he makes his pastas, and I'm like, well, this is amazing. This is beautiful. And I'm kind of like, oh, I hope he doesn't talk to us. We're just a bunch of college kids. We don't have any money, right? Yeah. He comes, he sits with us. He's like, how's the lasagna? I'm like, this is the best lasagna I ever had in my life, man. And he's like, well, the reason is because we do this. And he told me the whole story of how he makes his lasagna. Yeah. And he made us feel so welcome that 20-something years ago now, I still remember
you're
this.
You're telling the story.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is it. I
The
felt
experience. Yeah.
this was the best restaurant experience I had in my life, and I was just like,
Because he had passion.
I
and
can't
he cared.
believe it.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah. So this is the feeling that I want to give people when they come to eat. It's a very difficult thing to duplicate, to pass on.
Yeah.
But everybody says it's impossible. But if you look at places like Din Tai Fung, they got something. So I got to find what that is, man.
Yeah, well, I'm imagining because it's not a tipping culture, right?
Yeah,
there's no tipping here. I worked in the business. I was a bartender, waiter, manager for 15 years in Canada.
Yeah.
And my paycheck, nobody
of
gave a shit about the paycheck. It was your
all
tips.
tips,
It was all
That's
tips,
what you
right?
live off, for sure.
And that, I'd hate to go back to Canada now because I'm not tipping anybody.
It's funny now when I go back. It's weird because I'm like, I forgot I have to tip. I forget. Because here it's like you pay your 10% or service charge or whatever,
and the house keeps that. You're not.
No, we do distribute that. For
yeah,
sure.
that's
we
well.
distribute
That's a step in the right direction.
We distribute, but the problem is everybody just thinks guided. Like I deserve it. That's one of the biggest problems. As soon as you give a benefit, like a staff meal or this kind of a paid break, everybody's like, well, I deserve it. I deserve it.
Yeah.
That's the killer. That's for me is the killer. Because
entitlement.
Everybody just gets so entitled and I'm like, come on, man.
Well,
you know,
even if you're paying them better than any restaurant employee I've ever heard of it, like $150 an hour. Cost of labor is dirt cheap compared to anywhere else. For sure.
Yeah.
So you could. I know your profit margins are probably razor thin.
They're pretty slim, yeah.
But the cost of retraining somebody
is way more. For sure. No, I agree.
And it's 15 NT an hour.
For sure. No, I agree. I agree that we do that with certain people. We just want to have, like, I try to change this mindset, but I always have like, you come in, you start here, you're awesome. I'll give you whatever you want. But don't come in and be like, I'm doing jack shit. Until you pay me more. And I'm like, do great, and I'll give you whatever you want.
Yeah.
And it's the truth. I'll give you whatever you want. Yeah. Like, I used to have this one girl, used to come from Danshui, and I mean, we had her salary, and at the end of the month, we'd give her salary, and sometimes I'd be like, you know what, you killed it this month. And I'd be like, in my pocket, I'd be like, I got a few grand. I'm like, here you go. You're freaking awesome. Yeah. Here's a bonus.
Yeah.
Don't tell my wife. She's going to go crazy.
She's going to go crazy. You know you're on the air, right?
Like, we're live. So let's edit that out when it's live. Yeah.
Too late.
All right, let's jump on the next wing, man. So this next
here we go.
This is a mango sauce.
Oh!
Made by Brian Hopkins. Brian Hopkins, Flavor the World.
Is this one?
Right there, man. Get on it.
It's mango sauce.
It's like a mango spicy sauce. It's very good.
Well, mango's my favorite thing in the whole world.
So this is Flavor the World. If you guys have a chance, Google Flavor the World. We got this sauce from them, and we're trying to also promote their sauces. It's pretty yummy. So,
jeez,
get on it. Flavor the World.
Oh, are you bottling and selling this sauce?
I'm not. He is.
You buy the sauce direct from him, not the recipe. The sauce.
No, we got the sauce from him. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
it's good. Yeah.
Brian, where's camera? I should know where to look. I can't. As an actor, you never look into the camera, right? Yeah. So, Oh,
it's good, huh?
Spicy too, but not overpowering at all. This is my new favorite thing.
All right, well there we go. We got a fan. Flavor the World. It's got good stuff over there for sure. Good guy too.
Did I see Sarky's bottles of sauce out here? Sean Stark.
Not. I don't think so.
Sean Stark. He's importing beers, and he's got some hot sauces. I thought I saw.
No, I don't know. We make all of our own sauces.
Okay, so
we also use.
He's got some killer sauces.
We also use some from Flavor the World, and we have also used some from Anita's Cantina. But those are all locally made as well. So yeah.
Okay, I think this is going to be the last one I'm enjoying because I'm looking down that pile there.
It's going to get hotter for sure.
It's getting ugly down there.
It gets hotter.
It gets hotter.
This is
so good. Oh, it's got a kick. It's got.
Of course. Yeah. It's got to have that, right?
It's coming in waves.
Yeah, for sure.
Plunk.
So I'm curious about Infinity Key.
What is Infinity Key? Flob yet? Yeah, so that's winding up the flop.
Sure.
For any entrepreneurs that want to, stay out of the. If you want to get in a fight on the internet, about Taiwan, Formosa is the place to go. We have rules, but you also have anonymity.
Yeah.
But it's also, there's a lot of traffic there. And so
it's pretty amazing.
Save on the DVD. Just send me a private message, and I'm happy to answer your questions and help guide you what to do and what not to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, just the end of the story I was saying over there. Formosa really helped my business when it was a new business.
We have really tough to hear that.
We had like a super duper long. Well, the thread is still there. We just reactivated it recently, and to be honest, it was still going, and I didn't even know. I was like, oh my gosh. So it's pretty awesome, pretty amazing.
We switched platforms a couple of years back to something called Discourse, and it's amazing.
Okay.
It gives us so many more toys to play with.
Okay.
But
I've heard of that. Discourse.
We have to use Google's ad server in order to put the banner ads up, and it's so complicated.
Okay.
I've been trained on like several different ad servers since I took over the DVD spot.
Okay.
And I can figure them out. I'm not a computer tech guy, but Google's platform for serving ads is so complicated that even Gus can't figure it out.
Okay.
So we're not accepting banner ads, but we can work something out. Feed our moderators, and we'll pin your post to the top of the restaurant forum or something like that.
Let me know, man. We'll do something.
I told Gus to come by and speak to you, but
we'll do it sometime.
Gus, are you here? Are they hearing us out here?
No, I don't think so.
He said he was going to try and come by after he put Ike to bed. So
yeah, man. So Formosa.com.
Yeah. I don't think it's called Formosa.com anymore. I think it's .tw or
shoot. Okay.
Anyway, just look up Forum OSA. Just look it up.
Forum OSA. Forum OSA. Yeah.
It's a good name, huh?
It's a very good name.
Yeah.
I love that name. Yeah. The first time I heard it, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I
love
that.
catchy
Very
names.
Very
yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Well, what's next?
So Infinity Key.
Infinity Key.
What is Infinity Key? Where did you get the idea to do this?
Yeah.
Let's start with those two.
You know, I came here to teach English.
Sure, we all did. Yeah.
Spent a year teaching kids, and I like to tell this story.
Sure, let's have it. That's what we're here for.
I was teaching at the big yellow school bush. Bushy Banda Bush.
Okay.
Kujen Meiyu.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Down there in Gongguan. And they gave me the A5 class to take over the last 6 weeks of it, which was the last class, the top level students.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the K3 last semester.
They were all junior high school. Most of them were junior high school, and they were taking their exams to get placed into the high school. And a lot of them got into Type A first girls school, so they were a bright class.
Well, okay, great.
And so we finished that A5 class, and they asked the Juren if they could keep working with me. They really enjoyed the 6 or 8 weeks that we had spent together, and they wanted to have another class. And the Juren's like, no, you're finished. You have to go to the adult program.
Okay.
So then they told their parents that they wanted to keep working with me, and parents called up the Juren, and of course... An A6 class was born, right?
That's the best. Yeah,
and they gave me a bunch of books that they wanted me to teach, and so we had them. We were together for 3 hours every Saturday, just once a week, and we blow through a lesson in the book in the first hour. But then I got them writing their own little plays and casting their classmates in it, and using my drama background.
Okay.
And so their final exam was to write this play and perform in each other's plays, and then they also had a job interview that they had to do with me for their oral test.
Beautiful.
And they had to write out a resume, and they all kicked the shit out of the assignments.
Love it. Beautiful.
And of course, A's and B's up and down.
Sure. Love it.
So I present the final grades to the Juren. I hand in the book, and she looks at it and she goes, "Oh no! You have to fail 2 students." Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I said,
no.
They did great, and if I fail 2 of them, those 2 will lose so much face they will never speak English again.
Yeah.
She said, well, the parents won't respect your course if you don't fail 2 students. And I said,
that's crazy. Wow.
I'm not failing 2 of them, so here are my grades. And she gets out her Costco-sized bottle of liquid paper, and just randomly fails 2 students.
Really?
Yeah, so I quit on the spot.
Yeah, wow.
And I stopped working with children.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my classroom horror story. And I realized right then and there that there's a serious disconnect going on with learning English in Taiwan.
Sure.
But I needed a job, so I went to the adult side of the business, and I did Wall Street, and we came up here to Shilin, and I was the backbone behind the what they call it, the Chit Chat Cafe, and they were again not allowed. Here was the opposite. We weren't allowed to fail them as adults.
That's what I learned. That's what I learned. Yeah. They're like, if you fail them, they don't pay the money.
Pushing through.
You fail, they don't pay.
Well, they had the $100,000 a year all you can eat deal, right? So they just wanted to shove them through the 60. They'd be at level 64 and still
global,
couldn't have a conversation.
What is it, Global Village, right? That's what it's called.
I don't know what Global Village is. I think they're the lowest end of the
I think so.
there.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only one I remember right now.
And then on to other of the test prep mills and stuff like that. And I'd have a class of 16 students doing a conversation class.
Okay.
And on the same floor as the grammar class being taught by the Taiwanese teacher, speaking in Mandarin, writing in Mandarin. Students, 100 students in the class, all copiously copying notes. Not a word of English is being spoken in this class.
Yeah.
I've got 16 students down the hall doing speed dating or telephone talk back to back, or and just engaged in conversation where the secretaries would come in and go, "Shh, you're too loud. I'm too loud in a conversation class."
Yeah, okay.
So it just kept pissing me off, and I love the people of Taiwan. I love my students, and they were being ripped off.
Yeah, that's
ripped off by these bushy bands.
Okay.
And so I looked, once I got my APRC and I now had control of my own destiny.
Sure, yeah.
I started to develop my own way of learning language. And then enter Anna, my wife, who took my outside the box thinking and gave it structure.
We need that. We need that.
Oh yeah. We're the dream team, really. So what we've done is we've tapped into game theory.
Okay.
Now in game theory, there's two types of games you play. There's called finite game theory and infinite game theory.
Okay.
A finite game is like a game of soccer. There's a clock. There's parameters to the.
Sure.
There's a set rules that both sides abide by.
Okay.
There's a winner and a loser.
Okay.
That's finite game theory. Infinite game theory is more like StarCraft or where as long as you have the will and the resources to continue, you will succeed.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So.
I understand. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So we've developed a game. It's and you level up. You gain experience and you level up.
Okay.
And the experiences, there's two kinds of experiences that you need to conquer a language. Well, one we call passive acquisition.
Okay.
And the other is active application.
Okay.
Passive acquisition, watching television, reading. Sure. You're not creating the words, you're being fed them.
Okay.
And then you have active application, which is writing and speaking.
Okay. Understand. Yeah.
And to find a balance of that in a way that works with the very Taiwanese people that are very busy, so they have very tight schedules. So we had to find something that was economical.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course, got to be economical.
Yeah.
Got to be efficient.
Sure.
And it's got to be effective.
Okay.
Or in other words, fast, good, and cheap.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You ever seen those signs? Fast, good, or cheap? Pick two.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. You know that famous
idiom? And there's like a little scroll thing.
If you want it fast and cheap, it's not going to be good. If you want it fast and good, it's not going to be cheap. And if you want it good and cheap, it's not going to be fast.
Yeah. So you cracked that code.
We cracked it. We got all three.
You got all three. Okay.
Fast, good, and cheap.
Okay.
Right. And also the balance of passive acquisition and active application.
Okay.
And so it takes a while to have your paradigm shifted. So we offer a workshop that takes about 3 weeks to complete.
Okay.
We work with you, and it's all done online.
Okay.
We use Zoom.
Okay.
As our communication tool, because
Yeah.
we're just starting out. We're just a startup entrepreneur, husband and wife team.
I love that.
And we use Google Drive.
I still use Google Drive now.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I pay for it. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it.
Oh, you're paying for it.
I'm
Yeah,
paying
we
because
haven't
run
gotten
out of
big
space.
enough.
We run out of
Yeah.
space, yeah.
Yeah, I'm willing to do that too when
it's
we
cheap.
Yeah,
cheap
yeah,
and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean,
and Zoom we're using for free as well, but we will pay
Zoom
to
is
upgrade
yeah,
it. Yeah,
Zoom is great.
We'll definitely pay to upgrade it once we grow the business to that point.
There's a on that topic. There's something that I use, a website called AppSumo. If you ever have a chance, check it out.
Yeah.
They always have like lifetime deals on amazing things, amazing software, great software that comes from new companies. And
I'm gonna stand for a bit. I just gotta stretch
do your
my
thing.
leg. Yeah.
Sure. It'll be like $50 lifetime. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. So basically, AppSumo. I'll send you a link if you want.
How's my sound standing? Is it okay?
I think it's okay. Yeah.
Oh, you got your volumes up there.
I think you're pretty good still. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man.
So basically, you the Infinity Keys formula of success is practice plus time.
Okay.
We look at learning language the same way you would learn something that is based in art.
Okay.
Taiwan has the best students in the world for
okay.
science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM subjects.
Okay, I didn't know that.
But you can see if you're talking to educators today, they're looking at trying to integrate STEAM, which is arts.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I know
so,
a couple dudes, you don't. There's no art-based learning here. And do you play a musical instrument, Ed?
I do not, man.
How would you learn how to play guitar? By studying the life of Fender and...
No, of course not.
No, you learn by practicing.
Yeah, by practicing.
Practice.
Just get a guitar.
You play football, right?
Yeah.
How do you get better at football?
You just practice.
You practice?
You got to practice.
Yeah. I don't play football.
Yeah.
But if I started practicing...
Yeah.
I practice every day,
Yeah, sure.
I would get better.
Yeah, makes
you
sense.
only get better when you practice.
Agree.
You only get worse when you don't practice.
You don't practice, yeah.
So predicated on that formula.
Even now, I've played soccer my whole life, and I haven't for a while, and if I go to kick a ball, definitely I'm going to be rusty as hell for sure. So, yeah.
So, but you're never perfect at soccer.
Never.
It's impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible.
It's impossible to be perfect.
Sure.
Whereas they look at English as something that can be perfect, and it cannot be.
Unfortunately, sometimes back in the day, even now, you'd be riding on the MRT, and kids would be like memorizing a dictionary, and you're like, a dictionary? I'm like, I don't even. Why?
What does bushy band mean? Or cram school, right? Bushy is cramming, and that's a great way to study for a test, but it's a short-term memory.
Yeah, it's gone, right?
It's gone after 2 weeks, right? If you give the same test, surprise, same test you wrote 2 weeks ago, you're going to see the grades drop by 30-40%.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yep.
It doesn't work, and yet. That's all they do in junior high school and senior high school and in the bushy bands, cram. And it's just not working.
You believe you have a solution, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we do. So if people want that solution, go to
InfinityKey.rocks.
I actually have the link. I found the link. I put the link. Yeah, it's in the description.
InfinityKey.rocks. And I've done a lot of writing. Because it's a change, a paradigm shift, and it takes some understanding, and it takes a cultural awareness. I've been here 20 years. My wife is Taiwanese, and we trace the root of this shame-based culture when you make a mistake, rangdiolian, right?
Yeah, sure.
And where does that come from? Well, there's three kind of... The cornerstone of Taiwan culture are these three tenets: Lu Jia, Fa Jia, Dao Jia.
I don't even know this.
Okay, Lu Jia is Confucius. It's respect for elders and parents.
Okay, yeah.
Dao Jia is Lao Tzu.
Okay.
Right, the path of do nothing. Right?
Okay, yeah.
And Fa Jia is punishment for making mistakes.
Okay.
And that's where it comes from. This guy called Han Feizi, one of the philosophers of Chinese culture.
Okay.
And this works great. I am not saying that Fa Jia is a bad thing because it is producing the best students in the world for science-based subjects. Okay. That's why Taiwan has had success.
You need to memorize this.
Formulas and math,
equations,
engineering, medicine. These are accounting. These are the go-to jobs in Taiwan, and what has pulled Taiwan out of the agrarian culture that it was. The went from agrarian to manufacturing. Yep. Suddenly, high tech came in, and Taiwan is, against all odds, a major success story in such a short 2-3 generations. has pulled itself literally out of the rice paddies.
Okay. Sure.
Right?
Okay.
Because on the back of science. And yet, year after year, when you compare Taiwan to other countries in the world on the international tests like TOEIC or IELTS or TOEFL, bottom 4 every year.
Okay.
And the bottom 4 countries are switching back and forth. And guess what? Go ahead. Guess what 4 countries are always the lowest?
Oh, shoot. I have no clue. Man.
It would be Taiwan,
okay,
South Korea,
Japan,
and
Korea,
China.
China. Okay.
The 4 countries that spend the most money on learning English.
Okay.
Billion-dollar industry.
Sure,
right?
Sure, yeah.
But also
I did not know
4 shame-based cultures. Right? You make a mistake.
Okay.
Subka.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, understand.
Shame-based cultures, right?
Okay.
Also, the best students in the world, Japanese, South Korean, but science. For science.
That was actually, those were the ones I was going to guess, too.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's a no-brainer once you hear it. Yeah, of course, that makes sense, right? They go hand in hand, Taiwan. And you have to succeed, you have to be willing to make mistakes. When you make a foul shot and you miss, oftentimes you make the second shot because you've adjusted, you've learned, you spread your fingers wider, you bent your knees, and you make that shot the second time. You learn from your mistakes, and that's what art-based learning is. But if you're too afraid to get outside your comfort zone and make the mistakes, you will never be successful. So Infinity Key provides you with the opportunity to make mistakes in a safe environment, pushing you ever so slightly outside your comfort zone and growing that comfort zone.
That's where the growth is, for sure.
Yeah. So, and I'm gonna give you all one for free right now. One of our games that we play. We call it BKS listening. In fact, unless you've lived overseas, you have never listened to naturally spoken English. Unless this podcast until now has been naturally spoken English.
For sure.
I'm talking to Eddy. We're using words and we're speaking at a rate that is much faster to what we would speak to you in. Right?
Sure. Agree.
Watch Netflix, a sitcom. Modern Family, Friends isn't there anymore, but I don't know. There's all kinds of sitcoms, American sitcoms. 20 minutes a day. Turn off the subtitles. Do not hit pause. And assess your emotional reaction to not understanding. Don't worry about what you don't understand.
Thank you.
Flip it. Feel good about what you do understand. Even if that's only 10%. Go, wow, I understood 10% without subtitles.
I like
we
that.
call it BKS listening, and BKS stands for Banking Sang, which is Taiwanese for Fanching Song.
Okay.
It's a joke for them, not for you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was like,
because we want you to relax your emotional reaction and flip it around to having a positive emotional reaction. Hey, I understood 15%. Not Kalbea or Tingudong. Kalbea is...
That I understood.
Yeah, you understood Kalbea?
Yeah.
So, just grab your Netflix account. Watch whatever you want with subtitles on. That's entertainment. But if you want to practice 20 minutes a day, listening is the least developed aspect of your English that you have. Your reading level is higher. Your speaking level is higher. Your writing level is higher. Sure. Your listening, you go to movies at Wei Shou, subtitles. Teachers talk to you. We speak slowly and use simple words. Challenge yourself. Put yourself outside your comfort zone. There won't be any test.
Yeah.
Okay. There's just practice. It's practice. It's not study. And you will soon see that you're starting to understand more and more. The more you relax, the more you will understand. Get a Netflix account, watch a sitcom a day, 20 minutes. And that's just one of the passive exercises. So again, come to infinitykey.rocks. Take a look read my blogs. They're all translated too. Anna's translated them all into Mandarin for you because it's too important a concept to be wondering, what's he saying in English? And then contact us for a free workshop. We call it the Unlocking Infinity Workshop. You can contact us directly through our website, or you can call Anna at Lingzhou EE Erbachi Ling U. Lingzhou EE Erbachi Ling U.
Perfect.
Coach Anna, Coach Stu. That's Infinity Key, and we will change the way you learn English.
I love it.
efficiently, effectively, and economically.
Wow. Okay, that's
Good,
pretty
cheap, fast.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
How's the leg? Your leg all right? Yeah.
I had it drained today.
Okay.
For the third time. I had surgery last week.
Okay.
You want to know how I heard it?
I do.
So I get a lot of strange jobs being a guy that I am, and
Yep.
I had to find these missing sailors.
Okay. Oh, shoot. Yeah, there you go.
And when we found them, some local people started shooting at us, and
Okay.
so we were escaping, and I crushed my knee running around in the ocean,
shoot.
escaping
Okay.
being shot at by Taiwan tribesmen.
Okay.
Of course, this is
The movie.
Kwei Lei Wa,
TV,
the television show.
Let's
First
jump
day
on
of
that,
shooting.
brother. First day? No.
So
Okay,
the first day of shooting, they give me a cane as a
Okay.
prop to use,
Okay.
right? Because I'm an elderly gentleman, and so I add a limp to the guy, and I put the limp on the right leg. And then on the first day of shooting, I blow out my left knee.
Really? Oh, so you.
So I had to.
So it's gonna be like,
No, I
okay,
couldn't
okay.
switch. It was too late,
Oh,
right?
shoot.
So and as filming went on, as the days dragged into weeks and the weeks dragged into months, my knee was just deteriorating.
Oh my gosh.
And I really had to. That was one of the hardest parts of doing this role, was to get the limp onto the right leg and make. So what I did was I just overcompensated. I made the limp on the right leg way worse
Okay.
than the limp on the left leg, the real limp. But I just whenever.
That's pretty crazy.
Whenever the director would say "Jongbei," which is get ready, right, and then 3, 2, 1, action. He was always, no matter how, I love this director, sensitive, interesting, beautiful artistic man. But if
I
he's
saw
listening,
the pictures on the Facebook.
yeah, he's an amazing dude, and but no matter how sensitive and intimate the scene, he'd always be 3, 2, 1. Action!
And he would just
really
yell.
loud.
Okay.
You know,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
So as we're getting ready, I would just imagine my leg had a pole down the back of it, just lock my knee. So I might have yelled too loud for you. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Let's grab another wing.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Let's get on it. So we're getting there. We're getting closer. Got to keep the wings moving.
Yeah.
This is Korean.
This is a Korean, eh?
A little spicy Korean.
Alrighty. This might be my last one. This might send me running and screaming home to the south. Yeah. Might not eat it all.
Up to you, dude.
This guy last week was jumping around because of this?
He was yeah, it was spicy.
Okay, it's starting to come, but all right, it's coming.
I want to do a little rapid fire, man, if we could. I mean, I'm gonna give you the name of an actor. Mm-hmm. You let me know. Obviously, it's gonna be Hollywood people, right? Because that's what I know. I'm not a big.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know that much about the indie scene, so I'll give you a name and you let me know what you think.
Okay.
Brad Pitt. What's the first thing?
Oh yeah, well, True Romance. You remember True Romance? He played the stoner roommate, and he had the little honey bear bong and stuff that.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. But I think 12 Monkeys was when I realized that the guy could really act.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But
what about Seven? Remember Seven?
Seven was great.
Oh my God, Seven was
great.
Yeah.
And then they did the same director, same producer did the Bone Collector.
Oh yeah, that's so
but
good too, yeah.
This is the thing with movies and me. I saw that. I knew who the killer was because he was in a scene that he shouldn't have been in. Okay. That is damn hot.
It's getting there, right?
Holy crap!
Okay.
One little bite. Yeah, I can see why Buddy last week was
you don't
dancing.
have to wolf it down. Just do your thing, man.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Horchata.
Yeah. We make our own horchata, and that's not a straw.
Not a straw.
I know. It's a stir stick. I know. We actually need to make a clip.
This is pretty thick.
Of every single. We got to make a clip of every single person that's done that because everybody does that. So it's Nope, don't feel bad. It's all good.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm sweating.
All right, Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith. He's
the Fresh Prince.
Well, I mean, he started off as just a fun-loving guy, but breaking that barrier for Hollywood.
Love it. Love that guy.
He's done it. I won't miss a Will Smith movie.
Yeah.
Just like I won't miss a Brad Pitt movie. Yeah.
I love. One of my favorite Pitt movies was Troy. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Troy. Oh man.
The Superman punch. With
the
sword when he takes on the one-on-one.
Is there no one left? Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
So good. What about The Rock, man? Dwayne Johnson.
What did he call himself? Franchise Viagra.
I don't know about that. Did he?
Yeah, on Saturday Night Live, he was hosting. He called himself "I'm Franchise Viagra."
Okay.
I
don't know about
I
that. Okay.
haven't seen him dig deep into any kind of truthful acting like the other two guys that you.
He's always The Rock. Yeah. He's always Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get there. I mean, yeah, but
I gotta shout out to one of my favorite Denzel Washington.
one of the greatest actors
He's
of our
amazing.
time, man.
I love
Absolutely,
that guy.
yeah.
His movies I won't miss for
Yeah.
sure. Denzel, man.
Yeah, he's got.
The best. I love him.
Well, you know, he. You watch how he dedicates himself to the craft of speaking.
Yeah.
Okay, it's his diction.
Okay.
Is really well rehearsed and well worked, and then he has stillness to back that up.
I just love him, man.
You
Yeah.
do nothing unless it improves. Or say nothing unless it improves on silence. Do nothing unless it improves on stillness.
Okay.
Holy shit!
All right,
my tongue is on fire.
We're getting there. We got
Who's
milk.
next?
That's milk. Bradley Cooper. I just saw a movie with him the other day, so I threw this on the list. Love that guy.
I like
Yeah.
that he's become such a big star, but
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
has the humility to make fun of himself.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he'll still do silly inane stuff as well as serious thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I was just watching Limitless again the other night as I was falling asleep.
Oh, Limitless is good.
Yeah.
I just saw him and Lady Gaga did one called A Star Is Born.
I remember the Chris
Oh my
Christopherson,
God.
Barbara Streisand.
I really loved it. I was like, wow, this is great. I really enjoyed it. We'll do one more. What about Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah, that guy's been through a lot.
He's been through a
A
lot.
lot. I mean, and when you go into these big Marvel Universe franchises, you kind of lose respect. But watch Chaplin.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
But watch Chaplin.
Okay, I've seen that actually.
Yeah, that was an amazing turn. I think he's a wonderful actor, and I hope he can bounce back from this
Sure.
downturn he's gone with Iron Man.
So you don't
Now
think?
he's done
So
with
you
it.
think it's down? Yeah. I mean,
Well, Iron Man's
as,
dead,
as
so,
like
yeah.
as like a purist actor. So you
Well,
see,
yeah,
you see
I
like
agree.
the Marvel
I
and all
agree
that
with what
stuff, I
Scorsese
think.
was saying. It's not cinema.
Okay.
I don't miss them, and it's the only thing I'll go to pay for a movie is to go and see the Marvel Universe shows. The
Yeah, I
X-Men
love them.
I love them.
enjoy the hell out
They
of
have
those,
to be
man.
seen on the big screen.
Sure, love
But
them.
it's not acting.
Okay.
How come you haven't talked about any women?
I've got a couple on the list here, man. Natalie Portman.
Yeah, she's a hell of a good actor.
Yeah.
Again, she kind of dipped down into the Marvel Universe. All these great actors.
They all, yeah.
And then they're throwing big paychecks and huge
Well,
share
that's
of the
like
box
Gal
office.
But then you have some like a Gal Gadot, right? Who I never seen her in anything.
Yeah.
And then she's Wonder Woman, and it's like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. Everyone loves her, right?
Still, it's not the greatest acting. It's
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No
Yeah.
problem, man.
Yeah.
What about another one, Scarlett Johansson? Who's
Well, have you seen Marriage Story?
Nope, I have not.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
watch this.
Okay.
Her and Adam Driver, know they're getting divorced, and it's the story of how they get divorced and then come back together again to...
I've never even heard of this one, man, to be honest. I've never even heard. I love Scarlett Johansson. I never even heard of that.
She's
this
stepped
a
up her
newer one,
game.
or
Yeah,
what?
it's on Netflix. It's She stepped up her game to the next level with this one.
Okay.
Yeah. ScarJo. I mean, going back to her first movie too, she took me by storm. Lost in Translation with Bill Murray.
Okay.
Yeah. It was her first movie that I saw her in, and I was like, okay, this girl's going somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
I got one for you. Who's the highest paid actor in Hollywood?
Oh shoot. It's not The Rock, is it?
No.
It's not The Rock. Okay, because I remember something about that, and I was like, really?
Yeah. No.
Jesus, who would I think? I actually have no clue who that would be, to be honest.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Really, Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp, highest paid actor in Hollywood.
Okay.
I would have thought Brad Pitt, but
But I always read that Johnny Depp, he keeps buying up houses and stuff, and he's like blowing through all his money. I mean, who knows, right?
what the hell, wouldn't you?
Of course, yeah. I know.
Highest paid actor, never watches his own stuff.
Really?
Which I remember one of the first plays I did, somebody did a videotape of it, and we made the mistake
It's
of watching
hard.
it before we went on stage
sure.
and then lost all our confidence.
Sure, yeah.
Few actors never watch their own work.
Actually, I just saw this clip on Facebook of him. He dresses up in his full Captain Jack Sparrow gear, and he goes to like kids' cancer hospitals and stuff, and he goes in full character, and he does his like his little bit with them, and kids love it, and it's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing thing, man. I think that's very cool. Yeah.
Keanu Reeves.
Love Keanu Reeves, man.
Humble.
The Matrix. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Humble
yeah.
dude, rides the bus.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing. Yeah. I love Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
man.
Canadian.
I didn't know he was Canadian.
And a goalie.
Oh, he's
yeah.
Shoot.
He was in.
That's why you like him so much. Okay.
Oh no, that's not why I like him. It just happens to be like.
Yeah. Okay.
He was. What was
I didn't
that?
know he was Canadian.
All my hockey buddies are gonna kill me. Blood sport. There was a hockey movie where he played the goalie. It had Patrick Swayze in it.
I don't even know.
Yeah, it was a really good hockey movie. And Keanu Reeves, before he did anything, before Bill and Ted, he was the goalie.
Yeah, Bill and Ted was
the
amazing.
goalie. Yeah,
they're gonna redo Bill and Ted. I heard
40 years later or something.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I saw Keanu do something else where he played himself. But it was
like a TV thing, right?
Yeah.
I think I saw that.
He wasn't himself, but he was lampooning himself, and it was
nice.
I like when actors do that, when they have the courage to make fun of themselves.
All right, next wing.
Oh, dude, I'm still suffering from this Korean one.
Okay.
You know, it started off like, what was that guy dancing about? But it just, my tongue is
Well,
on
we can't go
fire.
8 killer wings. It's got to be like, right? If we did 8, it would be.
Yeah. No, I was enjoying it up
through,
until Korea. Well, tell me what's next. And I'm sorry, this one's not getting another bite out of me.
That's all right, man. No worries. Yeah, so we talked about the Infinity Key, right? We did Formosa.
No. Oh, let's talk about hockey.
That was the next topic, actually. Hockey,
yeah.
So, how's the hockey scene in Taiwan?
Well, when I first came back to the game, and that was 12 years ago, we had what was called the CIHL, the Chinese International Hockey League.
What? Okay.
It was. This was their second year of being in Shaojudan.
Okay.
Prior to that, they played in a small half-sized rink in the ASUS building in Shizhou.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there used to be a little half-sized rink in there. Then when they opened up Shaojudan.
News to me. Okay.
Yeah, and they developed that league for 5 years. It was all we did. A bunch of us. We lived and breathed hockey, and I got to travel around Asia. I played hockey in Mongolia. I played hockey in China wearing our uniforms with the ROC flag.
Really? Oh, wow. Okay.
Taking pictures for the local media, just shoving the flag in their face.
Wow.
We were in a mall in Shenzhen.
Okay.
And we went to the final game, and there was 500 people watching the game, all shouting, Taiwan, Taiwan.
Really? That's incredible. Wow.
Historical significance or what, right?
That's pretty
like
crazy.
That flag hasn't been seen. We're lucky we got out.
Yeah,
Today, if we tried that, we'd be done. You'd never hear from us again.
Anymore,
But then, because of any successful thing that foreigners are doing, they just literally pulled the ice out from under our skates 5 games into our 6th season in Shaojudan and decided to run it themselves. And so we all basically said, you can run it without us.
Yeah.
And it was being run by Bob Ford, who is a partner in the tapas place. Bob, you're gonna kill me. I can't remember the name of your restaurant. Sorry, Bobby. Again, it'll come to me. Tapas place on Zhongshao by Sun Yat-sen, Spanish.
I have no idea, man. Sorry, brother.
Oh, Bobby, I'm so sorry, buddy.
I'm not sure, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, him and a couple other guys were running the league, and it was really successful. And then once the ice got pulled out from under us, I mentioned him earlier. One of my best friends, Josh Smith, who just loves hockey. He's a kid from Saskatchewan, and he just loves it. He was born with skates on, and
like most Canadians,
yeah. Well, I mean, this guy it runs. It's in his blood a lot deeper, right? Yeah. And he got to know the guy Jonathan, who had a small rink in Ximending on the 8th floor of the Elite Mall.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty
And so
random
we
and
would
cool.
get together every Tuesday and we started playing 3-on-3 hockey.
Okay,
And it
okay.
just, like, the boards were only yay big, and then fish netting that they would string around it, right?
Okay.
But it kept us on the ice and kept us playing. And they started a club called the Taipei Gentlemen's Hockey Club, TGAC.
I've heard of that.
Yeah,
I've
the
heard of
gents.
that. Yeah.
And that's like 9 years ago, I guess.
Oh, shit.
Josh was
Okay.
saying it's. Yeah, I was asking
Quite a
for this interview because I thought we might talk about it.
Okay. Wow, 9 years.
Yeah, I think it was about 9 years ago that we started the gents up, and we have there's a league. It's a B-level league, and we do put a team in it.
Okay.
But the elite players aren't welcome in that league because they would just skate circles around everybody in that league, right?
Okay.
The elite players, one of the guys, he was a rookie the same year I was a rookie, Ryan Lang, and he was scoring 8 goals a game. And this was in the CIHL 12 years ago.
Yeah.
He's now the coach of the national team.
Oh, wow.
And he's doing wonders with them. They keep exceeding expectations with him. He's an amazing coach. So he would get us together.
My daughter eating the Korean wings. Sorry. Yeah.
You're a braver person than I am. Yeah.
But we don't put the crazy hot on it. It's just
okay.
regular. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. No, sorry.
So Ryan would get us together to work out his U18, U20, and men's national team. So we've had a few
I like that, man.
sessions with them and to tune them up, full contact
Very
games.
cool. Okay.
And it really an honor for me that they would put me in nets.
Okay. To play the national team.
There was a league that I think we got 2 or 3 years out of them, more of an elite level, 4 teams. Okay. But now,
is there funding from the government or anything or like that?
No, zero. The national
right?
team has to pay their own way, and they're traveling around the world playing in AAHF tournaments. And the real success story, though, is the women's team. Dad.
Okay. Yeah.
Talk to Stas.
Yeah.
And get her on skates.
Yeah.
Because the women's team.
Skating,
Well, Stas coaches kids every weekend, so you'll be getting up at 6:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Daja's not so far from you here.
Okay, is that where you're at?
There's a little rink. That guy Jonathan with the Shimending rink. They closed that down. He's reopened one in Daja. Again, they're having some problems with the air conditioning. It can get really foggy, and the ice can get really wet. But but it's still it's ice. You're in Asia, right?
Yeah, it's hard.
But Stas and Adrian. Do you know Adrian Nolan from GAS?
Adrian
Mr.
Nolan,
Nolan,
sure, of course.
They run a little club for kids, and they're having great success with them. So
nice. I didn't.
But the women's national team has taken the IIHF by storm.
Okay, really?
Our lower level guys would tune them up.
Okay.
And they were such a dynamic team. There's so much puck support and playing together as a team.
Can you guys watch what you're doing? Yeah.
So I love those ladies, and I want to do anything I can to support the ladies.
Okay. Yeah.
Girl Power, they're called.
Oh, really?
And,
that's cool.
And they're taking the international community by storm. Jiao Taiwan.
Right
But of course, they have to call themselves Chinese Taipei.
That's
Fuck, that irks me, man. That irks me.
Hopefully, that's going to get changed eventually, right? You think it'll ever get changed?
No.
No? Okay.
But I mean, I'm at loggerheads with the gents because we have a softball team too. We've expanded our.
Okay.
So every year the gents do a golf tournament, which is basically what happens on the course stays on the course.
Okay.
It's a really debauched tournament. You're not allowed to tell your wives about anything that happens there.
All right, perfect. I'm in. No.
And we have the hockey, and so we're playing Thursday nights now. We just pick up on Thursday nights at the big rink.
Okay.
And then we also have a softball team where we started off in the C division. On Sundays over in Rainbow Park here in Nehu.
Okay.
And we were mercied every game. I was calling us the Mercy Fucks. A bunch of hockey players trying to play softball, not baseball.
Okay.
And so they dropped us down to the lowest division, and we started to get our game together a bit, and then we won the lowest division, and now we're trying to climb our way back up the ranks. And then we have our annual Christmas party, and now there's this year there was 20 kids.
Okay.
So it's a real community, and it's all a testament to Josh and Stas. Stas is also one of the brain trust behind it.
Okay.
And they're both super dads, of course.
Okay,
and,
sure.
Yeah.
Stas is the super dad.
And,
super times 4.
Yeah, and so we had Santa Claus visit this year at the Christmas party.
Beautiful,
I was shooting down south that day, so I couldn't go, but my wife went and she had a great time.
Okay.
And, yeah. So we you can find us on Facebook, Taipei Gentlemen's Hockey Club, or again, just contact me through Formosa
just hit 'em
if
up,
you
he'll
want to
get you
know
the info,
about golf or our golf tournaments. They're crazy. Hockey or softball. We're always taking on new members.
Beautiful.
And the gents.
All right, Jen. So let's get that next wing.
Oh, dude, you're gonna make me do it, aren't you?
You don't have to.
I'm gonna take a little bite. Like a little nibble.
Take
What
a
is
little
this? You didn't tell me what it is.
You want to know?
Oh, of course. You got to sell your wings, buddy.
This
Move
is
the
made
merch.
with similar to the cayenne sauce, but this one we use the bird's eye Thai chili peppers. A whole bunch of them. a lot.
Just a few? No,
Uh-huh.
a whole bunch of them.
You gotta have a couple. Couple at the end, right?
Do you like this one?
You gotta have
You
a
wanna
couple
finish
killers
mine?
at the end, yeah?
It's too hot for you.
My daughter loves the Korean. She loves the chipotle.
Yeah, I like the chipotle one. The mango one was my favorite. Then
The
would be the
mango.
chipotle. Yeah.
There you go. The only one that wasn't made by us.
Well, you make the chipotle, don't you?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's funny. That's
No.
not bad, right? That's okay.
Well, I've
It's
learned to
kinda-
wait and see.
Okay. The thing about fresh sauces is you make them sometimes and they're super hot and then they mellow and then they get hot and then they mellow.
Yeah.
So depending on how long they sit, it's up and down. So this one for me tastes pretty mellow this time, unfortunately for you.
May I have some more ice water, please, Joe?
So you've done hockey, you've done the Formosa, you've done the Infinity Key. What do you do for like marketing, for example, for like the Infinity Key, as opposed to like marketing for Formosa, as opposed to getting people together for the hockey? Do you have some kind of
That's the $1 million question there, man.
Sure.
We're coaches. We're not marketing people. Hopefully the website should interest people, and then word of mouth. I mean, if you refer somebody,
Sure.
If somebody says, "Oh, I saw Eddy. I saw you on Eddy's.
Muchas
and I
gracias,
want to take the.
Gracias.
I want to take your workshop," and then they sign up for a 3-month training program with us. You're getting a kickback for that.
Okay.
So we want to invest in people sharing it.
Understandable.
So
Sure.
we're offering, a red envelope for people that refer people to us.
Sounds cool. I like that. Yeah.
And one of the exercises that we do, it's called Talking with Taiwanese.
Okay.
And this is the hardest one for them to get their heads around. But once they do it, they go, "Why haven't I been doing this my whole life?" It's just so logical. You earn points to level up, and this is one of the active application ones. Have a conversation with another Taiwanese person in English in public.
Okay.
In public on the MRT, sitting in a restaurant, with no foreigner around.
Okay.
So you're attracting attention to yourself. And this is a very uncomfortable feeling for them.
That's
but
pretty
eventually
cool.
they're going to realize, why do I care what Amma thinks of me? I'm having an opportunity to practice
That's
conversation.
Pretty cool. I like
right?
that.
So that's one of the ways you earn points.
I don't think I've
our
ever
game.
seen that happen.
3 times, I think, and it's shocking. I'm walking down the street, and it's not an overseas-born Chinese talking with a Taiwanese. You can tell right away. No, they're struggling with their grammar, but I've 3 times, and I'm so shocked I have to go, "Who taught you to do this? This is amazing."
That's amazing.
When I was working on Bushy Benjie on Saturday afternoons, I would get them to go walk around Ba Park.
Okay.
One person with their eyes closed, the other person leading them like they're blind, describing the park to them, and then when they get to the other end of the park, they switch, and what they described they have to find on the way back. So if the yellow flower beside, they have to find that yellow flower, speaking in English, and in a park full of people. Wow. And of course, what did the school think of that? What are you doing? You can't send them out.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hey, to all the bosses of Bushy Bands,
take it easy if we got
I'm
some
coming
ideas.
for you. 20 years, you're done. 12 years, actually. If the government got behind my program and let me test it in the schools for 3 years, in 12 years, that the Vision 2030 that they're talking about, which they'll never achieve if they keep going at it.
Yeah.
I can do it. In 12 years, Taiwan will be a fully bilingual country.
Well,
from the day you put me in charge of the junior high school curriculum.
So if anybody has any kind of contacts like that, share the video.
Yeah, share the video. Yeah, share the website. Get them to contact me. I'll sit down with anybody, anytime, anywhere, and I love because I
love it.
My wife and I, this is our baby. We have created this out of nothing, and we know it works. The people that have stuck with it are now able to have a conversation in English anywhere, anytime, with anyone. And any kind of test is no problem for them. They're going to just knock it off because they're not afraid of making mistakes.
So
simple. Practice plus time equals success.
One funny story about that was obviously as foreigners here, we
I did it again.
Did you do it again? Perfect. We're gonna make that into a video. We have, you always get stopped. Well, not so much in Tiamu, but you'll get stopped by random people, random kids, or whoever who want to be like, oh, welcome to Taiwan, or they want to practice their English with you, right?
Yeah.
So I was just down the street at Sogo playing this Pokemon arcade with my daughter, and we go play this Pokemon arcade all the time. And this kid, I'd say he's probably junior high. He comes up to me and he starts talking to me, and then I'm just, like, for me it's normal.
Is he mocking you though? I thought a lot of times they're just mocking.
Hello,
how are you?
No, those guys. Then
you start talking to them and then they
not like those guys. I've had that. But no, this was a kid. And he was just like, hey, do you like watching movies? Like, he's just practicing.
Good for him.
I'm like, yeah, sure. No problem. He's like, oh, do you like Burt Reynolds? Like, he's asking me all these questions. I was like,
Burt Reynolds?
What's your favorite Burt Reynolds movie? And I'm like, Smokey and the Bandit. And he's just, and he starts like naming all these movies. And I was like, okay.
13 years old.
Yeah, it's kid, man. So we start chatting, right? But that was for me, it's normal. It's okay. I've been here for 17 years.
Yeah.
But for my daughter, she's like, why does this guy keep talking to you? Like, do you know him? I'm like, no. And she's just kind of like, she was blown away because she's, a little girl. She's listening right now. She's a little, she's obviously half me and half, Taiwanese. And so she's just kind of like, why is he just randomly talking to you? For her, she was weirded out completely.
Yeah.
Because it was maybe my very first time 15, 20 years ago, I might have been weirded out. Probably not, but she was like, she's 8, right? Yeah. So she was kind of like, what's going on here? Why does this guy keep talking to you? That's weird.
Is he like a TES or TAS
No,
student?
he was a totally like Taiwanese little Taiwanese
awesome.
guy, man.
Well, that's special.
So I definitely started talking to him. Yeah. And it was cool. And then you could see him walking away, trying to think of other things. And then 10 minutes later, he'd come back and start talking again about, I don't even remember now, honestly. But I was like, yeah, I had a full conversation with the guy. And he was like, okay, cool, bye. And then he just kind of ran away. But he was like, I was like, hey, man, cool. He got like a free little English conversation lesson just by chatting, right? Yeah. So I was like, it was pretty cool, man. It was very
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have soccer, football is your game, right?
Sure.
What's your team?
National, of course, Mexico, right?
Sure.
But mostly Mexican league teams.
Okay.
America is a team from Mexico City that I like to watch.
Okay.
My family comes from Guadalajara, and they've got actually 2 teams in there, 2 or 3, yeah. But that's Chivas de Guadalajara.
So what do you look for if you're going to be a fan of a team? What do you look for? What makes you? Is it just location?
No, for me, actually, I played my whole life and I've coached my whole life, and after I was coaching more and more, I mostly became fan of players more than teams, because you can see certain players when you insert them into any sport, put them into certain teams, you would they could change the dynamic. And I just love the game. I've been playing it since I was a kid, coaching it since I was a kid. I haven't been watching as much lately, to be honest. What I've been watching more is UFC than anything else lately.
I kind of fell away from that. But
big UFC guy. Right?
I'd like to see what Connor's going to do. But
next week.
After he got just destroyed by.
Because
who's the wrestler guy?
That's a Khabib.
Khabib. So he had nothing. He had nothing.
But it is what it is. He makes some money. He's fighting on Sunday.
He's
we're gonna do that here.
Dude,
yeah, for sure. I'm a big fan of his actually.
So players
Yeah.
will I love this player, so I'm going to follow this team. Okay. Because
I haven't watched much honestly lately because the games are really late, and I mean after I have my daughter, I don't go to bed that late anymore. So
yeah, living here and watching sports.
Try to watch
crazy.
Sports here.
Craziness.
That's one of the things about UFC. The events will be like noon time on a Sunday, which is great. But I mean, like some Premier League stuff like that, 1 a.m., 2 in the morning, it's rough. Yeah. World Cup, okay, we'll do it. But
the Olympics in Japan will be okay. But I don't watch the Olympics anymore. So
yeah, it'll be.
So as a Canadian,
all right,
you're not a fan of the hockey.
I grew up watching it. I grew up loving Lemieux. Mario Lemieux.
So you're a Pittsburgh fan?
Big Penguins fan from way back then.
Because of Mario, though. Okay.
Because of Mario.
Yeah.
Being in BC, everybody likes the Canucks. Yeah. But I mean, I was never really a fan. I don't know why. It just didn't really strike my fancy. I guess they were. I don't want to say too many things bad about the Canucks, but I don't watch that much hockey. But they were never that good.
The Sedin sisters.
It was never really that. It was just never that good. Honestly, never that good, and it was never entertaining to watch for me.
Yeah.
But when you would watch someone like a Gretzky or Lemieux, you'd be like, "Wow, this guy's like." Again, I don't. Maybe it's the player, but I just loved it. And we were Pittsburgh fans. My family still is Pittsburgh fans till this day.
Yeah.
And I think who is it, Crosby now? And
Crosby.
He's incredible, sure. Right? Yeah. So.
Well, they got this kid up in Edmonton now that is changing the game again. But he's not always going to touch what Gretzky ever did.
Yeah.
Ovi might get his total goals. He's 209
we were talking about
away.
That online the other day, right? Gretzky,
Anyway, I growing up in Montreal.
Sure. Yeah.
In 1967, I was taken to Jarry Park a lot.
Okay.
And watching the Expos.
Okay, sure.
And baseball is kind of like what my game is. Are we on a time limit?
No. We're good. We're good. We got a little bit more time.
So baseball became my game. I didn't play hockey. I stopped playing hockey after first year Pee Wee.
Oh, well.
And I started skiing. And but the summers were all about the Expos. I remember listening to the games on the radio with a score.
My dad was a big Expos fan. Yeah.
Keep score with them, right?
Sure.
And as an Expos fan, you learn to live with a broken heart.
Okay.
And no more so than the year of the strike when they were 6 games ahead of the majors. They had a guy, Kent Hill, that was going to be a 20-game winner for sure. They'd only had one in their history. They had a guy in the bullpen who turns out he was a pedophile or something.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
John Wetland, but he you just pack up the bags when he came in. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the strike killed the season. The 1 year that they were a shoe-in, right?
Okay, yeah.
And then, of course, and I went back to Montreal after university from 90 to 92. Going to games, it was like 3,000 people in the stands. And we'd go sit down like on the third base side, looking right into the visitors' dugout.
Really?
We're that close. I mean,
wow.
And we buy the upper ring tickets for $5 and we just go down there.
Yeah, sure.
And it was such a tragedy for me. And hockey kind of fell away. I mean, of course, growing up in Montreal, you're a Habs fan. My mother worked with Jean Beliveau, and I met him when I was a kid.
Okay.
And then as a young adult, I got to know guys.
Are there that many non-French Canadians in Montreal, or is
it's like
is there a lot? Okay.
Kind of, it's what keeps Quebec from separating them.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just curious. I've never been. Francophones.
Okay, I'm just curious about
you've
that.
Never been to Montreal?
Never been.
Montreal's an amazing city.
Okay. Yeah.
But they live and breathe Habs.
Sure,
right?
Of course, yeah.
And when I was after high school, I ended up working for the Royal Bank of Canada, and some of our customers were Larry Robinson and Bob Gainey, and
that's amazing.
And a few others.
Okay.
In fact, then when I moved to Calgary, and the Canadians came to town, I asked one of the guys at work. I said, "Do you know what hotel they stay at?" And he says, "Yeah, they're at the Palliser." So I phoned the Palliser. I said, "Can I have Larry Robinson, please?" "One moment, please."
That's crazy.
And they connect me to Larry Robinson's
back
room.
In the day,
this would have been.
Yeah.
What year is this? This would have been like 81. Okay. And they connect me to his room. I said, "Mr. Robinson, it's Stewart Glen from the Royal Bank in Kirkland. I'm living in Calgary now." He says, "Oh, that's great. What made you move here? Blah, blah, blah. Any chance of some tickets for today?" He says, Sure. There'll be 2 for you at will call. So my first Flames game, I took a buddy from work, and in those days they were playing at the Corral, and as we walk in, the Habs are lined up to go on the ice, and you have to walk through them. And Denny Herron was the backup goalie, and he wasn't dressing that night, so I introduced Denny Herron to my workmate, and he's like, I'm just like totally gaining face, right?
Sure.
So 81.
Wow.
Right, and then so that kind of got me back into watching hockey a bit.
Sure. Okay.
And that's Gretzky and Messier and the Oilers
those
and
guys,
the Battle of Alberta, and I became such a big hockey fan back then, because the Flames were exciting. They always had that big brother that they could still skate with them, and they were a working class team. They didn't have any big superstars. When they finally won the cup in '89, Lanny McDonald was their main guy, and it was his last year. He retired after that.
I remember that. That was good. That was good stuff.
And when I'm talking about being a fan, I'm talking about that fist pumping,
You're so excited.
Fanaticism fan, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Right, and then after university, I went back to Montreal.
Okay.
And I got a job in a bar.
Okay.
A slap shot away from the Montreal Forum, where the year earlier, the Flames had raised the Stanley Cup.
Oh, wow.
The only team to ever raise the Stanley Cup in the Forum, other than the Montreal Canadiens. In the Forum, the hallowed history of the Montreal Forum, right?
Sure.
So the Flames are not really liked in Montreal for that reason.
Because of that.
So I'm working in this bar, 15 bartenders, massive nightclub type bar, and my stick behind my bar, a Lanny bobblehead, a Flames pennant.
Really?
Right?
Yeah.
Really stepping into the lion's den, right? But I was that much of a Flames fan. And that spring, in walk 8 or 9 of the Flames.
Okay.
They had their morning skate and their whatever, and they came by for drinks. And I was like, boys, all right. I bought them a round. They bought a couple of rounds for themselves. I bought them a final round. And then they stiffed me.
Really?
Not a fucking nickel.
No.
Not a fucking nickel.
Really?
Stiffed.
Oh, wow. No way.
Yeah,
oh my
so
God.
I cursed them.
That is a crazy story.
And I didn't have a team. No, I no longer had a team to be a fan about. I wanted them to lose. I wanted them golfing in April every year, and they did.
Okay.
Until recently. I was like, screw you guys. And I did it.
That's crazy.
And again, hockey kind of fell by the wayside, right? But then I started playing in the mid-90s in Whistler.
Okay.
And that's when I started. I started being a goaltender really in my mid-30s.
Okay.
And
wow, that's
incredible.
I'm
Canucks
shocked.
came up for their spring training camp, and because I was a rink rat and always there, I got to work at the Canucks training camp and keeping the autograph hounds off of Messier and Keenan and all those guys. But I wasn't a Canucks fan. I just didn't have that, right? And And Canucks fans. Well, I mean, when they lost to Boston, I turned to Anna and I said, now they burn the city. And within 5 minutes, Facebook's got pictures of them burning the city. That's Canucks fans,
that
right?
Was rough. That was crazy, man. That was
so crazy. I kind of hated the Oilers, but the Canucks kind of replaced them. And so who was I a fan of? Whoever was playing the Oilers or the Canucks. Okay. I didn't have a team that I was passionate about.
Understandable. Very
cool.
So
5 or 6 years ago, HBO did a 24/7 and followed the Rangers around, all full access. John Tortorella and Lundqvist was setting stats records, and I said, "Okay, Rangers, I'll give you a chance."
Okay.
And the first thing they do, they go to the Stanley Cup, and it was a good year. Then they fire Tortorella, and they hire Alain Vigneault, who was the Canucks. And I really hated the Canucks. And they hired the Canucks coach. And I was like, They get rid of their one superstar, Gaborin. And I was like, okay. But they got Rick Nash. And so, 3 years I stayed with them. But then in 2017, they're not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. And they just start fire sailing.
Really?
They start fire sailing all their talent. Like they're building up, and they're still not eliminated from the playoffs. And the way I grew up, even if you're eliminated from the playoffs, you play the spoiler.
Yeah, of course.
You don't go tank it for the best draft pick. That's what the Oilers' strategy was. They got 4 out of 5 first-round draft picks, and they got Connor McJesus out of this, and the NHL changed the rule over it because of the Edmonton Oilers, right?
Sure.
So So I'm getting really down, and I say I don't have that much invested in the Rangers that I'm not that fan.
Understandable.
But something's happening out west there. There's this expansion team, and they've gone through 5 goalies, and they're still winning. And so before the season ended, I said, you know what? Once the Rangers started to tank, which I totally disrespect, I said, okay, Vegas.
Okay.
I'm yours, baby.
Okay. Oh, that's what that is.
This is the Las Vegas Golden Knights, baby. And you like the Pittsburgh guys.
Yeah.
They left this man unprotected.
They did, yeah.
So you have a bunch of guys that their team said, you're not valuable to us.
Okay.
Right? So we're going to leave you unprotected.
Okay, yeah.
You had a great coach and a great general manager and a great owner who knew what the hell they were doing. And they manipulated that entry draft. And you got together a bunch of guys who were, just snubbed by their clubs.
Okay.
And then a couple of weeks into the season, they had the shooting in Vegas, right? And it bonded them. And what do they do in their inaugural season? They go all the way to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't watch much, but that was on the news for sure. Yeah.
But for me, I've got that passion back. I don't have that Expos thing, right? But I'm up at 8 this morning, up at 7:30 for the pregame.
Really? Wow.
I watch every game, and I've got that fanaticism back. Wearing the shirt.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm writing blogs about it. I'm working on an article. I'm on Twitter talking to the media people surrounding the team and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. There was one guy, Chris Chapman, lived in Taiwan. So
that's pretty cool. Yeah. I'd have to say, for me, I'd probably hit passion-wise for the most would probably be the UFC right now. Yeah. I mean, soccer again. I have a daughter. I mean, we play and stuff, but when you fall out watching the pros because of the time, and then you just get busy, and so for sure, I can tell the passion for sure.
I remember watching the first fight that John Jones.
Oh, okay.
John Bones Jones fought. And I went, this is the next thing.
Yeah, for
this
sure.
This guy is
amazing,
it. And then he ended up being such a retard. Hope he's not listening.
But he's still the man though. He's still he's still beating everybody.
Yeah,
he hasn't lost.
But
but he messes up. Sure.
Yeah, he's a thug.
Yeah, for sure.
And
but he still messes up. But
so who's your man? Who gets you?
I like
the Diaz brothers.
I like
the
Diaz brothers
me
for
too.
sure. The Diaz brothers. I have to say I like Connor as well. I like Connor a lot.
Sure.
Connor's good.
If he gets a ground game, he'd be really. But I love his chirping for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'd have to say Tony Ferguson. I mean, he's going to fight Khabib very soon.
Okay.
There's a pretty.
I remember watching him on Tough.
He's pretty amazing. Yeah, exactly.
He's come a long way then.
Right now, I'd probably have to say there's a guy called Anthony Rumble Johnson, who's coming back.
Anthony Rumble Johnson, okay.
Yeah.
So these are all names. I haven't followed the UFC for many years.
Yeah.
And these are all names that I knew.
They're still kicking.
So there's nothing new. And
there's new guys coming up. Like there's a guy called Israel Adesanya. He's called the Style Bender.
Yeah.
He's basically
Style Bender.
The Style Bender. That's
okay.
So basically, he used to. He's Nigerian, but I think he's born and raised in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And sort of there in the this last year, their New Zealand sort of city kickboxing team has just smashed everybody. He went from kind of unknown to in 2 years he's the champ. Like he just beat Robert Whittaker about 1 or 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. So he's basically undefeated.
Fast
it's pretty
track
incredible. Basically all the way to the top, and he smashed the champ.
Oh, so he's got the belt.
He's the champ now. Yeah. So he's a young guy.
What weight division?
He would be probably 185. 185.
Middleweight.
Yeah, middleweight. Yeah. So he's very good. There's quite a few, man. There's right now. Who could I think? I keep thinking of the Diaz brothers. Yeah. One guy called Jorge Masvidal.
Well, I know
he's been going from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But now he's recently come back and he's killing it. He's just beat. He just beat a couple of good. He just beat Nate Diaz actually.
Oh, okay.
He actually destroyed Nate Diaz. It was pretty we thought it would be closer, but no, he's dead. And he's a Cuban, so he comes out for the Diaz press conference in Scarface gear. Like he has the suit and stuff. He's pretty great. He's great.
Yeah.
Great guy. He's very good. I mean, he wasn't until recently, but he's very low key. Yeah. He's pretty amazing.
Do you like the showman, the Conor McGregor, getting wide, or the focus and the respect for the martial art, like a la GSP, coming out in his gi?
I'd have to say I think there's a place for both.
Yeah.
I think there's a time. I mean, of course, the respectful one is great, but I mean, Conor basically talked his way into fighting Floyd Mayweather. You know, which is
and walked away with a ton of money.
$100 million.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Laughing
crazy.
all the way to
That's
the bank.
crazy.
Yeah. I was here for that. I came and watched that.
Did you watch that?
Yeah.
That was a great fight.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. So should we get the last wing in there? Or what?
No, I'm done.
You done?
I
Okay,
can't do it anymore.
No worries, man.
You go for it, though.
I'm good. I'll take
You know what to
I'm
expect.
good. That's
You
all
eat
good.
these for
I'll eat my
breakfast,
last one right here.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, I'll tell you my 1FC story.
Okay.
This is one of my best stories.
Okay.
Okay. So you know Royal Chow,
Yeah.
right? You did the local promotion of the MMAs here,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
With Dimitri Telfair and those guys,
Yeah.
right? Used to put them on at Luxy. I became friends with Royal. And so he would always do nice things for me when he put on his shows.
Good guy, yeah.
Put me up on the stage. One time I did it to the videotape, not live announcing, but I did the announcing for the videotape. Wasn't invited back. I guess I didn't do a great job.
Okay.
Well, it's fine. That's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, sure.
I said, he got him in a leg bar. And he said, what's a leg bar? I said, my kind of bar.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. But he calls me up when 1FC was coming to Taida for an event. And he says, you want to work this event? And I said, yeah, I'd absolutely like to work the event. So you'll be part of the official crew. But you got to come on Thursday night for a rehearsal, and the fight will be Friday night. I said, absolutely no problem.
I'm in.
All right, yeah. So I go down, and they give me a 1FC official T-shirt. And my gig is to watch a fighter get signed and gloved. Okay. And then I watch that he doesn't do anything else, and I escort him down the ramp.
Slip some.
Yeah. I escort him down the ramp to the pat down circle.
Okay.
And then I'm going to be his corner guy with the ice and the towel and stuff like that. Bring the stool in. That's going to be my job.
That's you.
Right?
Okay, well.
And so
it's a good job.
Yeah. So the rehearsal is two fighters. We escort them down. We go through as if it's a show, right?
Yeah.
But the rounds are only 1 minute, and they're not really fighting. They're shadow boxing and dancing more than really rolling and grappling. Okay.
Sure.
And so they have these two young kids doing the stand-in for the fighters, and they do a round and a half. So a minute and a half. Then we take a 20-minute break, and then these two guys go again, and they ended in the first round. So they basically fake rolled for 2.5 minutes over a half an hour span of time. And they are too gassed to go and do the third one.
Okay.
So the producers point to me.
He'll fight.
And this tall Taiwanese kid, 20 years younger than me, good 6-8 inches taller than me, and has some experience. And I've never done anything. I'm an actor.
Okay.
But I said, I'll absolutely do this because they're filming it. It's as if as if it's a real fight.
And you're like, I'll take
So I say to Buddy before, while we're waiting upstairs, I said, so listen, we'll dance around a bit. Okay, do a double leg, and then just come down with an elbow and knock me the fuck out. Right? So we dance around a bit. He does a double leg takedown and elbows me, fake elbows me, and I act all knock the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I'm lying there, and nothing's happening. So I open an eye, and the ref's standing over us going, you got to keep going. We're going to do all 3 rounds.
Okay, wow. 3 5-minute rounds.
3 1-minute rounds.
Okay.
3 1-minute rounds. Now, we never hit each other.
Okay.
But I'm here to tell you, it was 110% grappling.
Okay.
He was trying to mount me. He had almost an RNC.
Okay.
And I was channeling my inner Joe Rogan, answering the phone, right? And he's trying to mount me, and I'm running around on the side, and the guy that's with 1FC, that's one of the big trainers, and he told me afterwards, he said, that was amazing. That was a really good scrap. Considering we weren't really punching, he was very impressed with it. But anyway, once it's over, they want to do the interview, right? But they give me the win because they want to speak English. But I cannot catch my breath. 3 minutes.
Okay.
I've played hockey 3 games in a night. And this was when I was at my peak physically in playing hockey. I was playing a lot of hockey. 3 minutes of fake grappling. I cannot catch my breath, and I cannot stop sweating.
Okay.
All right. They interview me, and all I could say between 6 or 7 breaths was quoting Dana never leave it in the hands of the fucking judges. That's all I said in the interview, right? And and they said, okay, we're going to have a meeting in 15 minutes. We'll meet you over there to talk about tomorrow night. So I go over. I still can't catch my breath. I cannot stop sweating. I'm feeling faint and woozy. We have this meeting, and they say, okay, tomorrow report here at 6 p.m. or whatever. And so you're done for the night. I go outside. I get in an air-conditioned taxi. I cannot catch my breath. I cannot stop sweating.
Okay.
Go from down. I live in Xindian in Bitan. I get home.
Oh, wow.
I go upstairs. Anna's lying on the couch. I walk right past her, leaning against the wall, showering down, hit the bed. He did knock me out. It just took me an hour to be knocked out. Boom, out.
Okay.
On my bed. Woke up the next day, sick as a dog.
Really?
Couldn't go to the event.
Oh,
had a massive headache.
Wow.
3 minutes of fake fighting.
Jeez, okay.
So the respect I have for these dudes that do 25 minutes of this for reals.
See you, man. Take care, yeah? All right, man.
For reals.
Okay, yeah.
These guys are fit motherfuckers.
For sure, yeah. You got to be, man.
You ever do any combatives?
A little bit, not so much, but I'm gonna. Now that I scaled back on one of the restaurants, I'm gonna get into it for sure.
Yeah, I'll do some BJJ.
Yeah. Also, my daughter wants to do it, so
nice.
So it'll be good. Yeah. Oof, I just ate 2 of the last.
Yeah.
Damn, that's rough. Okay.
So for me, like, there's no fitter athlete in the world than an MMA fighter. Yeah. Total mad props for those dudes.
Right on.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Whew. So we finished the wings, man.
Well, I didn't make it. I had a nibble off of number
that's rough
6 and 7, and I didn't go for number 8. But I mean, if you
how you feeling, brother?
I'm okay. I'm not hurting or
anything.
anything.
Okay,
it was an experience for sure.
Sure.
And if you like heat, come to Eddy's Wing Night.
Yeah, come and check him out.
But yeah, if I came to Wing Night, I'd be all over the Chipotle and the mango.
Yeah. Okay.
Those would be my 2. And the buffalo is.
I mean, it's basic.
One of the better
basic,
buffaloes I've ever had.
Okay. Cool. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything you want to add at the end of finish off the show?
I wish you the best of luck with franchising.
Thanks,
but,
brother. I appreciate it. It's going to be tough.
If you should seek out the counsel of the guy whose lease you took over at Eddy's One, Mr. Greg Walsh, who had Sababa. No, he's not. But Stas can put you in touch.
Okay.
You know, because he tried franchising the Sababas.
Yeah.
And so he could probably slip you. Well, not slip you some pearls of wisdom. The pitfalls to be aware of. I mean, because it doesn't sound like an easy.
Oh, it's definitely not. Yeah. No, I mean, I'd have to. It's not something I'm going to do right now, but it's. I'd like to check it out.
Start a thread on Formosa about it too. A lot of business minds out there. You'll get advice.
Okay.
You know, so start a thread on Formosa. It's tapping into the community that understands Taiwan really well. So.
Okay.
You know.
Well, for me, I'm definitely. I'm going to step back. I'm going to fix the problems.
Yeah.
And then when I'm ready to be like, hey, to start tinkering with that, I need to fix. There's some internal things I need to fix, like the system stuff that needs to be done. If not, then what are we doing, right? Yeah.
What if you gave them Infinity Key training?
Okay.
After if they work out and they're doing a good job, after 3 months they get you'll put them in a.
I could do that. Yeah. Why not?
We won't talk about that on the air, but I can set up it'll be all online training, and I can set up a program for Eddy's staff. How many staff you got? That you like right now, if you were to do this, how many would you reward with English classes? They're not classes, they're coaching.
I would probably there'd be a few that
10?
I would get. Probably not 10. Probably not 10. Yeah. Well, we recently just downsized, right? So we definitely have less now.
Yeah.
But for sure, I think.
I'll think about that and take a read of my blogs and.
I will. I definitely will.
I mean, we've talked about this before.
Sure. We have. Yeah.
This is a unique opportunity.
No, I'd love it.
I'd love it. Yeah. I think that's something that could help retain staff. If you're doing well, you get to stay in this training program.
Yeah. I would definitely do that. Yeah. Sounds good. I'll look into it for sure. Check it out, brother.
Awesome.
Thank you for coming out, man.
Eddy, it's been a pleasure.
It's my pleasure. I think you should have your own show, man. You're good. You're good on the mic. You are good on the mic, man. I gotta say.
I'll try and think of some people to send your way.
Sure, man. Yeah, for sure. I'd love to have people on.
So I was taking a look at your views, and you're bouncing between 150 and 300 views. We should get those numbers up if we can. Yeah?
For sure. I mean, it's still new. I haven't done any I haven't done any.
We're just marketing to our friends,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I haven't done any really real promotions yet.
Yeah.
I wanted to. There's a couple tweaks I want to do, and I wanted to get about 10, 20 under the belt. And
they
then,
can't hear us out there, though, can they?
We tried that before because they could,
Uh-huh.
but we were getting too much feedback and echo on this.
Okay.
Yeah, so that didn't work out. Yeah.
Because if we can get some celebrities in here,
Yeah, for sure.
like
Of course,
Andrew
yeah.
Chow,
I'd love to have him on for sure, man.
you know, or
Yeah,
have,
for sure.
have Andrew, Fabio, and Butterfly on here.
So that'd be
You
great.
know?
Yeah. Hey, man, if you got you want to hook it up, I'm down. I would love it. I would love
And,
that.
and
yeah.
what about? You said you can do it in Chinese.
I've done it in Chinese.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes a little. It's a little tougher for me, but I can do it. Yeah. I have done it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I've had a blast here tonight.
No, thanks,
And,
man. I appreciate it.
It's
Thanks
a
for
bit
coming out,
self-indulgent, but
it's all
I
right.
appreciate
That's
the
what
chance
it's
to
for.
promote.
That's what it's for, man.
And chat,
Share
but,
some stories, man.
yeah.
That's it. Get some eyes. Basically, I like to say that we're kind of in the gathering eyes right now mode.
Right,
and,
right, yeah.
And then eventually we'll have some eyes and we'll point them in the right direction, right?
Well, I hope
That's
it was
the whole point,
interesting
man.
for the audience
I'm
that
sure
watched
it was.
So,
I had a great time. I actually learned a lot from your stories as well. So
that was fun.
yeah, appreciate it, brother. Thank you
Eddie.
so much.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take a couple weeks off because we've got the Chinese New Year. So,
Sure, yeah.
but we'll be back in February. Yeah.
So this was the last one until
This is the last one, man. This is the
I don't
end
even
of
know
the
what year we're in anymore. That's,
Yeah, it's 2020, right?
No, but the year of the.
Oh, I don't know.
It's the end of the cycle. So whatever the last one.
The
Next year will
one's
be the
rat,
year of
right?
the rat.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no clue, man.
The rat's first because he ran down the
really?
cow's nose
Oh,
to
he did,
greet
eh?
the Buddha first.
Oh, shoot.
The cow got there first, and
That's
and,
funny.
And the rat ran down his nose. So I know.
That's
I
hilarious,
think dragons lasted. I'm not sure.
I to be honest, I have no clue, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
yeah,
yeah,
good
man.
luck. I love Eddy's.
Appreciate
And,
it, man. Thanks so much. Thanks for coming out.
Peace.
Take care, man. See you guys next time.